शरं धनुषि संदाय पुरश्वस्त्रं व्यमुञ्चत ततो अग्निवर्णा यशव उत्पेतुः सूर्यमण्डलात् यथा मयूख सन्दोहानादृश्यन्त पुरो यतः तैः स्पृष्टा व्यसवः सर्वे निपोतुः स्म पुरौकसः तानानीय महायोगी मयः कूपरसे क्षिपत् सिद्धामृतरसस्पृष्टा वज्रसार महौजसः उत्तस्तुः मेघदलना वैद्युता इव वह्नयः विलोक्य भग्नसङ्कल्पं विमनस्कं वृषध्वजं तदाय भगवान् विष्णुः तत्रोपायम् अकल्पयत् वत्सासि तदा ब्रह्मा स्वयं विष्णुरयं हि गौः प्रविश्य त्रिपुरं काले रसकूपामृतं पपौ ते असुरा ह्यपि पश्यन्तो न न्यषेदन् विमोहिताः तद्विज्ञाय महायोगी रसपालानिदं जगौ स्वयं विशोकः शोकार्तान् स्मरन् दैव गतिं च तां देवोऽसुरो नरोऽन्यो वा नेश्वरोऽस्तिह कश्चन आत्मनोऽन्यस्य वादिष्टं दैवेनापोहितुं द्वयोः अतासौ शक्तिभिः स्वाभिः शम्भो प्रादनिकं व्यदात् धर्मज्ञानविरक्तिरुद्धितं तपो विद्या क्रियादिभिः रतं सूतं ध्वजं वाहान् धनुर्वर्म शरादियत् सन्नद्धो रथम् आस्ताय शरं धनुरुपाददे शरं धनुषि संदाय मुहूर्ते अभिजितीश्वरः ददाह तेन दुर्भेद्य हरोत त्रिपुरो नृप दिविदुन्दुभयो नेदुः विमान शतसङ्कुलाः देवर्षि पितृसिद्धेशा जयेति कुसुमोत्करैः अवाकिरञ्जगुर्हृष्टा नृतुः चाप्सरोगणाः एवं दग्धा पुरस्त्रिस्रो भगवान् पुरः नृप ब्रह्मादिभिः स्तूयमानः स्वधाम प्रत्यपद्यत एवं विधान्यस्य हरे स्वमायया विडम्बमानस्य नृलोकमात्मनः वीर्याणि गीतानि ऋषिभिर्जगद्गुरोः लोकान् पुनान्यपरं वदामि किम् इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां सप्तमस्कन्धे युधिष्ठिरनारदसंवादे त्रिपुरविजयो नाम दशमोऽध्यायः। श्रीहरये नमः श्रीहरये नमः श्रीहरये नमः। गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्द गोविन्द। प्रह्लादवरद नरसिंह भगवान की जय। हर हर नमः पार्वती पदे। हर हर महादेव। सद्गुरु महाराज की जय। राधे
राधे। Payalji, நீங்க 11 படிச்சிருங்கோ because I think she is not joined yet. GadadaranJi is not joined yet. So நீங்க படிச்சிருங்கோ.
Okay அண்ணா. अथ एकादशोऽध्यायः। श्रीशुक उवाच श्रुत्वेहितं साधु सभासभाजितं महत्तमागन्ध्य उरुक्रमात्मनः युधिष्ठिरो दैत्यपतिर्मुदान्वितः पप्रच्छ भूयस्तनयं स्वयंभुवः। श्रीयुधिष्ठिर उवाच भगवन् श्रोतुमिच्छामि नृणां धर्मं सनातनं वर्णाश्रमाचरायुतं यत्पुमान् विन्दते परं। भवान् प्रजापति साक्षात् आत्मजः परमेष्टिनः सुतानां सम्मतो ब्रह्मंस् तपो योगसमाधिभिः। नारायण परा विप्रा धर्मं गुह्यं परं विदुः करुणाः साधवः शान्तास्त्वद्विधान तथा परे। श्रीनारद उवाच नत्वा भागवते अजाय लोकानां धर्मसेतवे वक्ष्ये सनातनं धर्मं नारायणमुखाच्छ्रुतं यो अवतीर्यात्मनो अंशेन दाक्षायण्यां तु धर्मतः लोकानां स्वस्तये अध्यास्ते तपोभदरिकाश्रमे। धर्ममूलं हि भगवान् सर्ववेदमयो हरिः स्मृतं च तत्विदां राजन् येन चात्मा प्रसीदति। सत्यं दया तपः शौचं तितिक्षेक्षा समो दमः अहिंसा ब्रह्मचर्यं च त्यागः स्वाध्याय आर्जवम्। सन्तोषः समदृक्सेवा ग्राम्येहो परमः शनैः नृणां विपर्ययेहेक्षा मौनम् आत्मविमर्शनम्। अनाद्यादेः संविभागो भूतेभ्यः च यथार्हतः तेषु आत्मदेवता बुद्धिः सुतरां ऋषुपाण्डव श्रवणं कीर्तनं चास्य स्मरणं महतां गतेः सेवे ज्यावणतिर्दास्यं सख्यम् आत्मसमर्पणं नृणामयं परो धर्मः सर्वेषां समुदाहृतः त्रिंशल्लक्षणवान् राजन् सर्वात्मानेन तुष्यति संस्कारा यत्राविच्छिन्नाः सत्विजो अजो जगादयम् इच्छाध्ययनधानानि विहितानि द्विजन्मनां जन्मकर्मावदातानां क्रियाश्चाश्रमचोदिताः विप्रस्याध्ययनाधीनि षड् अन्यस्या प्रतिग्रहः राज्ञो वृत्तिः प्रजाकोक्तुर् अविप्राद्वाकरादिभिः वैश्यस्तु वार्तावृत्तिः स्यान् नित्यं ब्रह्मकुलानुगः शूद्रस्य द्विजशुश्रूषां वृत्तिश्च स्वामिनो भवेत् वार्ता विचित्राशालीन यायावरशिलोञ्चनं विप्रवृत्तश्चतुर्थेयं श्रेयसी चोत्तरोत्तरा जगन्योनोत्तमां वृत्तिम् अनापदिपचे नरः ऋतेराजन्यमापत्सु सर्वेषामपि सर्वशः ऋतामृताभ्यां जीवेत मृतेन प्रमृतेन वा सत्यानृताभ्यामपि वा नश्ववृत्त्या कदाचन ऋतम् उञ्चशीलं प्रोक्तम् अमृतं यद्दयाचितं ऋतं तु नित्ययाज्ञा स्यात् प्रमृतं कर्षणं स्मृतं सत्यानृतं च वानिज्ञं स्ववृत्तिर्नीच सेवनं वर्जयेतां सदा विप्रो राजन्यश्च जुगुप्सितां सर्ववेदमयो विप्रः सर्वदेवमयो नृपः शमोदमस्तपःशौचं सन्तोषक्षान्तिरार्जवम् ज्ञानं दयाच्युतात्मत्वं सत्यं च ब्रह्मलक्षणं शौर्यं वीर्यं धृतिस्तेजस् त्यागश्चात्मा जयक्षमां ब्रह्मण्यता प्रसादश्च सत्यं च क्षत्रलक्ष्मणं देव कुरु अच्युते भक्तिस्त्रिवर्गपरिपोषणम् आस्तिक्यम् उद्यमो नित्यं नैपुण्यं वैश्यलक्षणं शूद्रस्य सन्निधिः शौचं सेवा स्वामिनि अमायया अमन्त्रयज्ञो ह्यष्टेयं सत्यं गोविप्ररक्षणं स्त्रीणां च पतिदेवानां तच्छुश्रूषानुकूलता तद्बन्धुषु अनुवृत्तिश्च नित्यं तद्व्रतधारणम् समार्जनोपलेपाभ्यां गृहबन्धनकर्तनैः स्वयं च मण्डिता नित्यं परिमृष्टपरिच्छदा कामैः उच्चावचैः साध्वी प्रश्रयेण दमेन च वाक्यैः सत्यैः प्रियैः प्रेम्णा काले काले भजेत्पतिं सन्तुष्टा लोलुपा दक्षा धर्मज्ञा प्रियसत्यवाक् अप्रमत्ता शुचिः स्निग्धा पतिं त्वपतितं भजेत् या पतिं हरिभावेन भजेत् श्रीरिव तत्परा हर्यात्मना हरिर्लोके पत्या श्रीरिव मोदते वृत्तिः शङ्करजातीनां तत्तत्कुलकृता भवेत् अचौराणामपापानाम् अन्त्यजान्ते वसायिनां प्रायः स्वभावविहितो नृणां धर्मयुगे युगे वेददृग्भिः स्मृतो राजन् प्रेत्य चेह च शर्मकृत् वृत्त्या स्वभावकृतया वर्तमानस्वकर्मकृत् हित्वा स्वभावजं कर्म शनै निर्गुणतां यात् उप्यमानं मुहुक्षेत्रं स्वयं निर्वीर्यतां यात् न कल्पते पुनः सूत्यैः उक्तं बीजं च नश्यति एवं कामाशयं चित्तं कामानामतिसेवया विरज्येत यथा राजन् अग्निवत् कामबिन्दुभिः यस्य यल्लक्षणं प्रोक्तं पुंसो वर्णाभिव्यञ्जकं यद् अन्यत्रापि दृश्येत तत्तेनैव विनिर्दिश्येत इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां सप्तमस्कन्धे एकादशोऽध्यायः। श्रीहरये नमः श्रीहरये नमः श्रीहरये नमः। गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्द गोविन्द। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। राधे राधे।
राधे राधे। So we'll pause our Parayanam now for the pravachan by GadadaranJi on the beautiful Gagendra Stuti. So it's all, over to you, GadadaranJi, for the pravachan. Radhe Radhe.
राधे राधे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, गोपिका जीवन स्मरणं गोविंदा गोविंदा, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। कलये सुंदराकारं सदैकप्रियदर्शनम् अज्ञाननाशकं देवं सद्गुरुं मुरलीधरं, मुरलीमण्डितकरकमलं मुनिजनमोहनं व्यध्यस्तपादं वनमालाधारिणं प्रेमभक्तमण्डलनित्यकीर्तितं प्रेमिकवरदम् आश्रयेऽहम्। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः, तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा, धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि, यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव, पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपापप्रणाशनं प्रणामो दुःखशमनः तं नमामि हरिं परं। श्रीहरये नमः, श्रीहरये नमः, श्रीहरये नमः। गोपिका जीवन स्मरणं गोविंदा गोविंदा, सद्गुरु महाराज की जय। By the abundant grace of our beloved Guru Maharaj, Maharanyam Shri Shri Mulidhara Swami Ji, and Bhagavan Shri Madhuri Sakhi Sameda Shri Premika Varada Thakur Ji, today we are going to see Gagendra Stuti, which comes in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The 8th canto starts with Gajendra's Charitram only. There are 4 important Upakyanas present in the 8th canto. First is Gajendra Moksham, followed by Amrita Mathanam, then it comes Vamana Charitram, and finally Matsyavatara Charitram. So 4 Upakyanams has been given priority here. The 8th canto generally discusses about the Manvantarangal. The Manvantaram is discussing about the Manvantaras is an important thing, is a Lakshanam regarding Puranas. Each and every Puranam speaks about these Manvantarams, that is the time and calculations, and who are all the Manus. Everything will be discussed in all the Puranas because it is an attribute, it is a Lakshanam that has been written for a Purana. But if you see Srimad Bhagavatam, the priority is given to Bhagavad Gunas, because in the first chapter, in the first canto, it has been asked that you must tell us the stories that are related to Bhagavan, where Bhagavan Gunams blossoms, where Bhagavad Gunas is coming out of those charitrams. So the stories of Bhagavad Gunas related stories are alone discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam. So while discussing about the Manvantarangal also, Sri Sukacharya cleanly explains only the Bhagavad Charitras that are related to the Manvantaras. Up to the 7th canto, the first Manvantaram, Swayambhuva Manu's period has been discussed. Then from the 8th canto onwards, all other Manvantaras are being discussed. So the second one being Swarochisha, then Uttamam, Tamasam, Raivatam and Chakshusham. Then from the 9th canto, Vaivaswata Manu's period is being discussed, that is in which period we are present. So this 8th canto, all other Manvantaras details is being given. Later, after Vaivaswata Manvantaram, the Manvantaras which are to come in the future is also discussed in the 8th chapter in the 8th canto in a particular chapter. So all the Manvantaras discussions go on in this 8th canto. And in the 4th Manvantara, in Tamasa Manvantara, this Gagendra Moksham takes place. The story of Gagendra is very well known to everyone. Gagendra Stuti is more important than the story in case of Gagendra Moksham Charitram. So since the story is known, I'm not going into the story portion. Gagendran, the elephant in the forest, is the king of all the beings in the forest. Once, because of hot summer, it can't find water anywhere. So with this large family of herd of elephants, it is going towards it's going in search of water, and it finds a big lake where it gets smell fragrance of lotus. So it finalizes that in that direction a big lake or pond must be present, because lotuses grows only when there is abundant water is present. So it goes to that lake without knowing that a great danger is awaiting that Gajendra. It enters into the water, and all the elephants, because generally elephants like playing in the water. So all the elephants go into the water without knowing the great danger that is waiting for him. He enters the water and he is playing with all the elephants, and there is a crocodile there, a Makarendra, which is the king of that water. So its place is getting disturbed. So this Makarendra comes out and catches the legs of Gajendra. There are several elephants there, but this elephant, the Gajendra's feet alone, is being captured by that crocodile, because it is clearly specified tam tatra kaschindrupa daiva chodito graho baliyanscharane rusha grahite yadrichayaivam vyasanam gato gajo yatha bhalam so atibalo vichakrame. So it is cleanly specified that it is daiva chodito. There are several elephants, right? But this elephant is being selected by Bhagavan, it seems, because daiva chodito. So it has got a shapam from Agastya Maharishi Agastya in his previous janma, that is Indradyumna. This elephant was Indradyumna king in his previous janma, and because of the abacharam that it did to Agastya Maharishi, it has got a shapam and it has become an elephant in this janma. So that Agastya Maharishi has given a remedy for it by stating that when Bhagavan comes and touches you, you will get sapa vimochana. Similarly, the crocodile is a Gandharva named Huhu, which does an abacharam to Rishi Devala, and because of it, it becomes a crocodile. And for it also, that Rishi has given a remedy that when Bhagavan's chakra comes and cuts you into two pieces, you will get vimochanam. So these rishis are giving shapam to the people who have done abacharam to them, and they are calling the remedy for it from Bhagavan. So Bhagavan thinks that why we must make separate avatars for these two cases, and let us make a single avatara, that in this Hari avatara itself, it gives abhayam to both Gajendra and also the crocodile. So Bhagavan performs both the acts in this single avatara. So the shapam or the rishis, the shapam that the rishis gave is not considered as shapam, it is considered as anugraham. Generally, Mahatmas have a heart, they have a very kind heart, and they generally, while giving this shapam also, they will only give us anugraham, because Bhagavan is being called for them to get the remedy to get out of the shapam. So that is considered as anugraham there. And here the crocodile catches the Gajendra, and it tries to get out of the pity of that crocodile. And then it tries for how much years it's being specified, that is for 1,000 years. Sama sahastram vyagamat mahipate. So for 1,000 years, it is fighting with the crocodile to get out of the hold from its mouth, and it's trying, and it can't come out of it. And finally, these elephants, which have been along with that Gagendra for some time, tried their level best to make this Gagendra get out from the mouth of crocodile, but they can't do it. So they all left, thinking that if we are along with this Gagendra, then all our life will also get into a problem, and there might be several other crocodiles in this pond, and if it comes and catches our feet, then what will happen to our case? So let us all leave and let us all disperse immediately. So this Gagendra alone is being left in that pond for 1,000 years. It is being staying there, and finally it gets an intellect, thinking that for 1,000 years I am being in this pond, and this crocodile is being catching me for those 1,000 years. It has also not eaten anything, and from my body also the blood is oozing out for those 1,000 years, and still my life is also intact, and the crocodile's life is also intact. So that it is very much clear that somebody is protecting the lives of both of us. So it gets that knowledge, it gets that thinking, and immediately it understands that there is one guy for whom even Mrityu is afraid of. Thinking of him, even Mrityu is afraid of. So, Bhitam Prapannam Paripati Yat Bhayat Mrityuhu Pradhavati Aranam Tamimahi. So, it finally decides Gagendra, and Bhitam Prapannam. So, it falls at the feet of, he thinks of that Lord for whom Mrityu is itself afraid of, thinking of whom. So, it tells that Mrityuhu Pradhavati. So the Mrityu is itself afraid of such a Bhagavan. So thinking of that Bhagavan, he starts his Stuti Aranam Tamimahi. So he is the only solace. His feet is the only place where it is shelter for all our problems. So it thinks that Aranam Tamimahi. Aranam is a great protector, means protection. So it thinks of that Bhagavan, and it starts its Stuti. Evam vyavasito buddhya samadhaya manohridi Jajapa paramam japyam pragjanmani anusikshitam. So it thinks of that Bhagavan. It states, Evam vyavasito buddhya samadhaya manohridi. Sharanagati is being performed by Gagendra. And there are 3 types of Sharanagati. The first one is Vachika Sharanagati, that we can do with our mouth. Next one is Kayika Sharanagati, that we can do with our Sharira, the body that has been given to us. And third one is Manashika Sharanagati, which we can do with our heart, with our mind. So here Gagendra is ruled out from the first 2 cases, that is Vachika Sharanagati and Kayika Sharanagati. It's an elephant, so it cannot call out. So its Vachika Sharanagati is ruled out. The second case here is Kayika Sharanagati, since it is already got into the fiddle of that crocodile, so it can't do Kayika Sharanagati, so it decides to do Manasika Sharanagati. It is told as Samadhaya Manohridi Evam Vyavasito Buddhya. So it keeps on thinking in his mind that I know this Bhagavan, I know this the Bhagavan. There is some connection between me and that Bhagavan. So it keeps on thinking of it. It goes back, it goes back, it goes back, and finally that regression has taken it back to its previous Janma, where it has become the Indradyumna elephant, and it has made a stotram of Bhagavan, which he used to tell in his last birth. That is the stotram where Gagendra is telling now. So it is been stated that Evam Vyavasito Buddhya. It keeps on thinking of the stotra which he used to do in its last birth. So that came to its memory, and it starts its stotra selling Samadhaya Manohridi. How can it travel to its previous birth? It is to the Samadhi Manohridi, to the heart, to the mind it has traveled, and it tells a great stotra naming Jajapa Paramam Japyam. It's a big stotra, it means. Big Sotra, Paramam Japyam. So it Jajapa Paramam Japyam. What is that Paramam in that Stotra? What is great about the Stuti of Gagendra? 10 points is being specified to mention the greatness of Gagendra Stuti itself. Paramam Japyam. It is generally told by many Mahatmas, and our Guru Maharaj used to tell what is the reason for that Paramam Japyam. He gives several points stating the greatness of Gagendra Stuti compared to the other stutis presented in Bhagavat. So first one is, it is a stuti made by an animal. It's not a stuti made by any devas. It's not a stuti made by Brahma. It's not a stuti told by other jivas. It is told by an elephant. So an elephant is an animal. The stuti made by an animal is being told here. So it is a great stuti. So generally, if you see Bhishma Stuti or if you see Kunti Stuti, if you see Dhruva Stuti, Prahalad Stuti or any other Stutis, generally they see Bhagavan, and after seeing Bhagavan, after having his darshan, they will do a Stuti. They will do a Stotra. But Gagendra Stuti is not in that case. Here, Gajendra makes a Stuti, tells a Stuti in order to see Bhagavan, in order to know who that Bhagavan is generally. So that is the second greatness of his Stuti. And third one, this Stuti is not done by its mouth. It's not telling it loud. It is telling inside its heart. So it is a Stuti, Manasila Pandra or Stutiya. So that is the third greatness. Finally, this Stuti is important. The most important of this Stuti is it is a Vedanta Stuti. It's not a Prarthana, or it doesn't sells like a Kunti Stuti where she does a Kripa Smaranam of all what Bhagavan has done for her. Or if it is a Bhishma Stuti, he was describing the Krishna who was in war field for 10 days. So this is an entirely Vedantic Stuti which is being told by Gajendra. This is the only Stuti which starts with the Om, letter Om. It starts with letter Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yadayetat Chidatmakam. So it starts with the letter Om. Moreover, Om Namo Bhagavate, these three letters, if you take and compare it with Dwadasakshari mantram also starts with these three letters, Om Namo Bhagavate. So that Vasudevaya is there in Dwadasakshari, right? That for the entire description of that word Dwadasakshari is the remaining portion of the Stuti, it seems. So a detailed explanation is given for the word Vasudeva, Om Namo Bhagavate. Then if you stop there from Tasmai to the end of the Stuti, it is the explanation given for the word Vasudeva. So it is the entire essence of Dwadasakshari is being presented in the Stuti. And then it gives us two other things. Two other things are, one, who is the person for whom this stotra is made is being told. So the person whom we must attain in our birth or in our life is being mentioned, and even the path that must be followed is also mentioned. So the person whom we must attain is Bhagavan himself. It is very well known. And the path is doing Sharanagati to him, entirely submitting everything to him and waiting for, and we must wait for him so that he can do his anugraham to us. So it gives the path which is Sharanagati, and it tells the person whom that Sharanagati should be performed. So this Stuti it tells about Bhagavan also, and the Margam also is being presented in this Stuti. So it is a great Stuti. And finally, Gajendra, in the first slokam itself, Abhidhimahi is being the word finally told there. So the Abhidhimahi means it's not doing Stuti for him alone. It is asking all of us to do this Sharanagati, and it's even specifying to Bhagavan Madrik Prapanna. In that slokam also, it shows Madrik, not for him alone, for people like me is being specified by Gajendra. So it is not a Stuti for him alone. Swayanalama பண்ற ஒரு ஸ்துதி கிடையாது. This stuti is for the entire world. So this Gagendra Stuti, this Gajendra is not praying to Bhagavan to get him alone out from samsara. It is asking for all the jivatmas who are all like Gajendra, got into the world of samsara and suffering there. So to get everyone out of the samsara, this stuti is told by Gajendra. So this stuti is a bigger and a great stuti. And finally, this Stuti is not made in this Janma. It was already told by Gajendra in its previous Janma. So, Prag Janmani Anusikshitam. The Stuti which he learned in his previous Janma is being told here. So, that is the greatness of specific greatness that is being specified by our Guru Maharaj for Gajendra Stuti. So, Jajapa Paramam Japyam. These 10 points have been told, which tells the greatness of Gajendra Stuti. And the first slokam starts, Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yadayetat Chidatmakam Purushaya Adi Bijaya Pareshaya Bhidhimahi. So Om Namo Bhagavate. So it tells that the stotram is on Bhagavan. Bhagavate Tasmai Yadayetat Chidatmakam. So where is that Bhagavan? It is the stotram on Bhagavate. The word Bhagavan, Bhaga relates to Bhagavan. So who is that Bhagavan? We are all reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So we all know that Bhagavan is Sri Krishna himself. So Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. It is told in first canto, Yete cha amsa kalaf pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. All other avatars are just amsham, a part of that Supreme Lord, and Krishna is that Supreme Lord himself. So it stays Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So generally, if you see for Bhagavatam or Bhaktas of Krishna, then they will say that the Supreme Lord is Krishna. But this stuti starts with the general term Bhagavate. So he wants to find out who that Bhagavan is. So once this stuti is completed, Sri Hari coming on top of Garuda says that Hari is the Supreme Lord. So Om Namo Bhagavate. So where is that Bhagavan? That Bhagavan is not in front of Gagendra. He is calling out to that Bhagavan who must come here. He is calling out to that Bhagavan whom Mrityu himself is afraid of. So he doesn't know who that Bhagavan is. So he is telling that Tasmai, meaning that he is not in front of him. He is somewhere else. So I'm calling that Bhagavan. If you see in the case of Bhishma, Bhishma shows to Dharmaputra, Yesha vai Bhagavan Sakshat. He shows to Dharmaputra that this Krishna, he is Bhagavan. But in the case of Gajendra, it's not so. So he is asking who that Bhagavan is. So he is telling that for whom these attributes all gets related to, let that Bhagavan come in front of me. So he is telling Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai, that Bhagavan. So for Bhagavan, there are 6 attributes which are being present. Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Dharmasya, Yashashashriyaha, Vairagyasya, cha Mokshasya, Shanna, Bhagayitirana. So 6 things. If a person who has all those 6 things is called as Bhagavan. But all those 6 things can be seen only in Purnam Bhagavan, can be seen entirely, totally in Bhagavan alone. So if a person has any one of these qualities itself is being called as Bhagavan. For example, we will call Vasishta Bhagavan, we will call Valmiki Bhagavan, we will call Durvasa Bhagavan, because out of these 6, they have one attribute. Having one attribute itself is such a great thing. And if you see in the case of Bhagavan, he's having all the 6 attributes. So it is mentioned Aishwaryasya, he must be having Aishwaryam. Samagrasya, it must be endless. It must not be limited. It must not be related to a place. It must not be related to a person. It must not be related to an area. It must be endless Aishwaryam. He must be having endless dharma. He must be having endless kirti. He must be having endless shri. He must be having endless vairagya. He must be having endless moksha. Everything, there's no limit for all those 6 qualities. These 6 qualities should be present in a complete sense. Then he is called as Bhagavan. So that Bhagavan should come in front of me. He's praying for that Bhagavan to come, and it is telling that he is not giving a rupam, he is not giving a nama, or he is not giving a form to that Bhagavan, and it is telling that who is the reason for the being of this entire world, let him come. Generally we used to ask, generally people ask, I have not seen Bhagavan, so why should I believe in him? Because I have not seen him. Because we believe everything that we can see, that is, that we can absorb through our 5 senses, is the only thing, are the things that we believe in. So this Bhagavan is not pratyaksham. So he does not come inside comes and he can be analyzed or viewed by us through these 5 senses. So he is out of pratyaksham. Okay, the pratyaksha pramana, Bhagavan doesn't fit under pratyaksha pramana. So the next one is anumana pramanam, where anumanam means thinking like it must be like this. So if you see a big smoke coming out from some place, we can identify that, we can come to a conclusion that there is fire. So that's why this smoke is coming out. So if you can say that if you see a place like this, then Bhagavan will be there. So that way is also we can't identify Bhagavan. So anumanam is also washed out in the case of Bhagavan. Then the third one, there are some things which we don't see, but we believe in, but we feel it. Like we are in a state of sorrow, we are disturbed, then we say that I'm not well now. Or we will say that I'm disturbed now. எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமா இருக்கு, நான் துக்கத்துல இருக்கேன், நான் சந்தோஷமா இருக்கேன், எனக்கு பசிக்கிறது, hunger or sukham or dukham, these are the things that we have not seen, but we have an anubhavam of it. We have felt it, we have realized those things because we have undergone those things. Those things have been undergone by us. So we know that if someone says na dukkama irukken, romba kashtama irukku, we can understand that they are in some state of sorrow, so let us not disturb them. Okay, so we can understand that. But anubhavam, it's called anubhavam, we don't have. But so do we have Bhagavan's anubhavam? So that is also not in our case. So through that anubhavam also Bhagavan can't be felt. So he cannot be realized through pratyaksha pramana. He cannot be realized through anumana pramana. He cannot be realized through anubhava pramanam also, because anubhavam is related to our manas. That Bhagavan is superior to that manas also. So it tells in the Upanishad that yen manasa na manute, who cannot be identified or realized by this manas. There is a capacity of this manas or this mind to identify few things. It can ஒரு அது வந்து ஒரு மாதிரி அதை வந்து ஒரு ஜிமிக் மாதிரி பண்ணியோ அதை ஒரு அளவுக்கு இப்படின்னு இட் கேன் கற்பனை பண்ண முடியும். ஆனா அந்த பகவான மனசுனாலையும் கற்பனை பண்ண முடியாது அப்படின்னு சொல்றது. So what it means that it is more than அனுபவம். So that Bhagavan cannot be realized through pratyaksham, anumanam, anubhavam. So what is the way to realize it? If that Bhagavan himself shows that this is so, then this is me, then this way you can identify me, then that is the only way to attain Bhagavan. So that there is no big effort in realizing Bhagavan. The greatest thing is that Bhagavan should show us that I am there for you. But we can realize that the one Bhagavan is existing, one Supreme Lord is existing here, because that its presence only shows that because of its presence alone, this entire world exists and it performs its karyas are being performed. So it says that yata chidatmakam, one thing that makes this world living, it makes this world a chaitanyam, it makes this world to chit, it makes this world to live, so it makes this world to exist. That one thing which makes this world to exist is called as Bhagavan. Yata chidatmakam, because one thing must be there which controls and which அது வந்து ஒரு விஷயத்தை இயக்கிறதுக்குன்னு ஒன்னு இருக்கணும் இல்லையா? If you see a car cannot run on its own. It requires a driver. If you see a garden, if a garden is arranged properly, then there must be a person who is in charge of that garden. So similarly, if this world is existing and this world runs for several number of years, then there must be a person who is guarding and protecting this world, right? So it tells that yada etat chidatmakam, there is one force, or there is one power, or there is one existence that makes this world to exist. So yata etat chidatmakam. So here then it says Purushaya. So how he is called as? The Shastras call him as Purushan. Purushan means Adi Purushan. Puri Shete iti Purushaha is what told in the Shastras. So Puri Shete means this Shariram is there and the Jivatma is inside this Shariram, right? That can be realized now while that can't be realized when we are alive. That can be realized when death occurs, because the same person who has been running, who has been moving, who has been talking, and who has been eating several things, when the Jivatma runs out from this body, then he becomes a dead body, right? And that state, it can't move its legs, or it can't move its hands, it can't move its eyes, it can't ask for water. It is just abde paduthu kadakum. So that Jivatma, because it is inside this Puram, that is Puram, this Shariram, it's called as Purushan. And Shastras tell that he's called as Purushaya. So next word, it specifies Purushaya. Purushan means even this Jivatma is considered as Purushan. Paramatma is also considered as Purushan. And there is a subtle difference between this Jivatma and Paramatma. So in order to show that difference, it says Adi Bijaya, one that is from the beginning. The same thing will come for this Jivatma also. Jivatma is also eternal. Jivatma is also eternal. So it says Pareshaya. There is a difference between the Jivatma and Paramatma. It states that this Paramatma is superior to the Jivatma. Pareshaya, Paraishaya. So it is Purushaya, it is Adibijaya, it is Pareshaya Abhidhimahi. So that one thing which exists and make all other things to exist and perform its activities, that Chaitanya Swarupam is doing pranamam, or is doing dhyanam of that Chaitanya Swarupam, telling that Pareshaya Vidhimahi. So one Bhagavan, one Supreme Lord, one Paramatma exists who makes this entire world to function. So that is what this first shlokam specifies. And in the second shlokam of this stuti, here Gagendra says how this world is being created. Yasmin idam yatascha idam yena idam yagidam swayam yosmat parasmat chaparaha tam prapadye swayam bhuvam yasmin idam. If one thing is created, first initially what it requires a adhara, it requires a basement for it to stand on it. If you are making a drawing, you can draw it in free wall, you can't draw it in the air, right? You can't just draw in the space. You need a wall, or you need a chart, you need a stand where the drawing, where there is a place and where you can draw. So similarly, like a painting requires a wall, similarly this existence of this entire world requires an adharam, that is that Bhagavan, Yasmin Idam. On what this world stands, on what this universe stands is Bhagavan, Yasmin Idam, Yatascha Idam, Yena Idam. There are two reasons for the existence. There are two causes for the existence. So first one is Yasmin, Yatascha Idam and Yena Idam. So for a thing to be created, two things are required. The raw materials are required and the person who creates that is also required, right? So from what this world has been created, by who this world has been created. So there are two things for the existence or the creation for this world. And these two things are also Bhagavan himself. These two are also Bhagavan. So yatascha idam, yena idam. If you make a pot requires some mud. So if you make a mud is raw material that is required, and the second thing is the potter who makes that pot. So the potter has the knowledge, or potter has the idea or the technique how the pot should be made, and this pot is being made only when mud or the sand that is available. Both should be there, right? Similarly, in the case of in the Prapancha Srishti, there these two things are also Bhagavan himself. So the raw materials are also Bhagavan, and the person who creates it also is Bhagavan. So he says that yatascha idam yena idam. So both are Bhagavan, it seems. So Bhagavan is the one, because the Shastra says that sa ekaha. So he's the only one who is existing. He's the only one who is present. So he can't take some other thing from, there is no thing to take at all, because he's the only one existing. So the raw materials and the second one here, the knowledge is also with him. So both the reasons, that is the Upadana Karanam and Nimitta Karanam. That's what the Shastric name for these two. Nimitta Karanam is the person, and Upadana Karana is the materials required. So in the case of creating this entire universe, both the reasons are Bhagavan. Since Bhagavan is the cause and Bhagavan is the reason, Bhagavan is for both causes. So it says that yatascha idam and yena idam. So this prapancham is now created. If this prapancham is created, what is this prapancham now? Ye idam swayam. That is also Bhagavan, it seems. That is also the Supreme Lord, it seems. How? Because if you create a pot using mud, then this pot is also mud, right? It has been given a shape. It has been given an akriti like a pot. If a horse doll is being made out of that pot, then it will be like a horse. But in generally, if you see that, it is only Bhagavan. It's Bhagavan himself. That pot, if you consider the pot, that is mud only. If the mud is taken out, then there is no existence of that pot, right? If it is just given a shape, so it is mud only. Similarly, if this prapancham is now created, what is this prapancham now? The prapancham now is also Bhagavan. So ye idam swayam, this prapancham itself is Bhagavan. So now we will have a question. Now you will be having a doubt that what are all the enjoyments and what are all the benefits, what all we enjoy in this world itself should become Brahma Sukham, right? He used to say in Dashavaskandam, it says, Itham Satam Brahma Sukhanubhutya. So that Gopa kids are enjoying a infinite bliss. The bliss of Bhagavan is being enjoyed by those kids. So now, considering this shloka here, then this also states that the Sukham that we enjoy in this world itself is Brahma Sukham then why we must read Bhagavatam, then why we must attain Jnanam. This Sukham itself is Brahma Sukham. So whatever we like to eat, we can eat. So whatever we like to hear, we can hear. So whatever we like to see, we can see. This world itself is Brahman, right? So what all we do here becomes Brahma Sukham. Then again it says, Yosmat Parasmatcha Paraha. Don't think like that. If you see cause and effect relation, then this Prapancham is considered as Brahman, because the cause is Bhagavan, and from Bhagavan this world has been created. Through a mud pot has been created, so the continuity of the mud is in the pot also. Similarly, in that case this world is considered as Bhagavan, but Bhagavan is superior to it. So he says that Yosmat Parasmat cha Paraha. Yosmat means this world, Parasmat means this Jivatma. Bhagavan is superior to that Jivatma also, because Bhagavan is Sarva Shaktan. Bhagavan is Sarvantaryami. Bhagavan is Sarvaniyamakan. Bhagavan has all the supreme attributes. But if you consider this Jivatma, is he Sarvashaktan? Does what and all he thinks happens immediately? Or is he has that capacity to make those things to happen? Though that is not in the case of Jivatma, right? So Bhagavan is superior, is separate from this world, and he is separate, he is greater when compared to this Jivatma also. So it says Yosmat Parasmatcha Paraha, one he is superior to this Jivatma, one who is superior to this world. So this Bhagavan is separate. So this sukham that we enjoy in this material world cannot be considered as Brahma Sukham, because that sukham can be obtained only by doing prapatti to Bhagavan. So it says Yosmat Parasmatcha Paraha Tam Prapadye Swayambhuvam. So for that Swayambhuvam, the Bhagavan who has who doesn't have a creator for him. There is no one who created him. He is Swayambhuvam. He is eternal, and he is the one who has created everything. So here that Gagendra says that who is the Adharam, who is the base for this world, who is the material cause for this world, who is the intellectual cause for this world, who has become this world, and who is also separate from this world and this Jivatma. So that Supreme Lord is being, I am prostrating towards that Lord. So Tam Prapadye Swayam Bhuvam. So then how can that Lord be attained? Because we have already told that he is Sarvashaktan, he is Sarvantaryami, he is Sarvaniyamakat, he is Sarvakarana Bhutan. All the attributes have been told to Bhagavan, but one attribute is not being specified there, that is he is Sarvasharanyan. He has a beautiful quality, he has a beautiful gunam called Sarva Sharanya Gunam. There, if a person comes and prays, or if a person comes and who prostrates in front of Bhagavan and prays, that he says that Sakradeva Prapannaya Tavasmi Tichayachate, like it is told in Ramayana, that Vibhishana comes and tells that I am a person who belong to you, you please accept me, because Bhagavan is waiting for that. He says that Mamaivamso Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatanaha Manaskarmani Indriyani Prakritistvani Karshati. In Bhagavad Gita, he says, Mamaivamsho Jivaloke. This Jivalokam, the people in this world are not separate, are not something who are different. They are Mamaivamsho, they are my Amsham. And they are not realizing me. There is a difference between the view of a jnani and a view of a normal human being. If you go to a shop, for example, let's say that we are going to a gold jewelry shop, and in the jewelry shop, we have a thing to buy in our mind. That is, we go to the jewelry shop and we are in search for a new pair of bangles. So if we go to that shop, and we will see only the bangles. We will ask in that shop whether there is bangles, whether this type is there, that type is there. So our concentration is only on bangles. So next, another guy goes to that shop, and his interest is for a, what to say, if he take for a modram or a finger ring. If his idea is to buy a finger ring, then he will go to that shop and he will search only for those modrams present, the types which is present, the shapes which are present, the rates, different varieties of rates that are present. So everything, his drishti or his view will be only on those finger rings. If he come for a bracelet, then his view will be only on that bracelet. If bracelet is not available, he will go to the next shop. So there are different things that are required for us. So if we need a bracelet, he sees a bracelet. So that namam and that rupam is what is in his mind. So he sees that. If we go for a bangle, then his idea in his mind is for that round shape. So he needs a bangle. So his idea will be only on that bangle. His view will be on that bangle alone. Similarly, if now night time is there, and in that night time, a thief has come to that shop. If a thief has come to that shop, how his drishti will be now? For him, bangle is not different. For him, ring is not different. For him, bracelet is not different. For him, everything is gold. So whatever he can take, he will take, and he will change it, and he will earn the money. Right? So if we see the nama and rupa, we will get into that maya. We will fall in that maya, and we will be always thinking of that namam and rupam. But if we are like a thief who sees everything as gold articles, and he will steal and go. Likewise, if we see instead of that nama rupa, if we see everything as that gold, like instead of this nama rupam, everything we see that it is Bhagavan himself, then we are out of this maya. That is how a jnani, and that is how a normal human's drishti differs. Because jnani sees everything as the cause, and we see as everything as the effect, that is the final byproduct that we get. So the jnani's drishti is considered superior. So far, if everything is gold, then there is no loss or no gain in the case of that jnani, right? So he's saying everything as Bhagavan. For me, everything is Krishna. But for us, this is one Rupam. This is my mother. This is my father. This is my friend. This is my relation. This is my product. So that my comes right. That is the cause of all the ignorance. So in Gagendra, he generally says that if we see the material world, we will fall for it. But why Bhagavan created this material world? Because if we see this material world, how Bhagavan has created it, he thought that our thought will go to him. He thought that they will not fall for this material world, and they will think that who has created this world? So he is considered, so he will be greater than this world. So instead of these worldly benefits and worldly pleasures, we must attain that Supreme Lord. So that thought, Bhagavan thought that creation of his world will incorporate such a thought in our mind. But we have fallen into this material world and we have forgotten Bhagavan. So he says, everything is being created by Bhagavan. So I am doing prostrations to that Bhagavan. I am doing Sharanagati to that Bhagavan. So let that Bhagavan protect me. So the Jnani's drishti has been told. So Gagendra immediately here says, I am not such a Jnani. I can't see everything as the cause itself. I am seeing several namam and rupas. I am saying I am forms and names. So in order to attain such a state, in order to come out of this ignorance, in order to come out of this situation, what should I do? So he says that he does a prapatti, he does a prarthana, saying that Madrik prapanna pashupasha vimokshanaya muktaya bhuri karunaya namolayaya Swamshena sarvatanubhin manasi pratita pratyagdrishe bhagavate brihate namaste. So in this shloka, the continuity, the word madrik specifies that it has separated the case of jnanis. Jnanis are different. They see Bhagavan itself everywhere. So people like me, Gagendra is telling that people like Gagendra, people like me, madrik, what is the way to get out of this samsara? What is the way to get out of this maya? But we will see that Gagendra is being caught by that crocodile. But the prarthana is he has to get out of this samsara. So that is a great difference, that generally it must do a prayer so that it can come out from the clutches of this crocodile. But the prarthana is not for that. It wants to get out of the samsara itself. He thinks that this crocodile symbolizes the entire samsara in which we have been caught, and it is pulling us inside it. So it says that I have to come out of that samsara. Like in a small version, I have to get out of this crocodile. But in the bigger scale, if you see that crocodile itself is the biggest samsara that we have been inside for several janmas. So it says that I have to come out of this samsara bandham. So what is the way for it, Madrak? What is the way for people like us who are not jnanis? Jnanis are not in this material world, though their body is in this material world. Their manas is always seeing Bhagavan everywhere, so they are not in this material world at all. So this Gagendra says, what is the case for us? Prapanna Pashu Pasha Vimokshanaya. It says that Bhagavan has a quality that it separates the Jivan from the samsara. Pashu Pasha Vimokshanaya. Pashu means, if you take a calf will be separated from its mother cow. And if it is separated, when that calf cries for that milk, what we must do is we have to untie that calf. It will immediately run towards that mother and it will have its milk. Similarly, I have been in the samsara suffering for several years. So you are the guy who must come and get me out of this samsara in order to attain you itself. In what way Bhagavan comes and unties us is in the form of a guru. So in the form of Guru, Bhagavan himself comes and he unties us who has been suffering in the samsara and who literally wants to get out of the samsara. So a Guru comes. If a person has such a prayer, such an intensive prayer, then a Guru will be sent by Bhagavan himself and he will untie him. So immediately he can rush to Bhagavan. So he says, Parapanna Pashu Pasha Vimokshanaya. Who can come and untie? A person who is sleeping cannot wake another person who is sleeping, right? So a person who is awake can only So if a person who is awakened can wake as the person who is sleeping. So he says the next word, Bhagavan can say, how can I do it? So he says, Muktaya, you are already out of this samsaram, you are Muktaya, you attained mukti, you are always in that mukti state. So he says, Muktaya, what is the reason I must protect you or I must get you, untie you from this samsara? Have you done any sadhana? You know all the shastras? Are you doing tapas? Are you doing Vedanta Vichara? Are you doing yaga and homas? Anything have you performed? Any satkaryam or any sadhana have you performed? Bhagavan will not see that. So he says that you are the person who can untie me from this samsara because you are muktan. You are out of this samsara. You are not within this samsara bandham, and you have a lot of enormous compassion towards me. So you will not see the sadhanas or you will not see the character. You will not see my situation because you know that I'm not capable of doing any of this. न धर्मनिष्ठोस्मि न चात्मवेदी न भक्तिमान त्वच्चरणारविंदे. So I don't know how to do bhakti, I don't know how to do jnana, I'm not involved in any karma yogam of any of this. I'm a simple living being who has been under this samsara, who have been tied in this samsara. So because you should not see the sadhanas that I have or not, but you have an enormous compassion. So through that guna bhuri karunaya, so using that karunai as a weapon, using that karunai as a sword, you can untie me from this samsara. So he says bhuri karunaya, so you don't expect anything from these jivas. For you, the only criteria is to take these jivas from the samsara. So bhuri karunaya namo alayaya. So it says then how long can Bhagavan do this? If there is a time period for him, namo alayaya, you are endless. You are endless, you are mukta, you have an abundant compassion towards the jivas, and you says namo alayaya, so you are endless, you are always present, so you can do this eternally until the last jiva who is in the samsara is present. Till then you will definitely be there. So namo alayaya, there is no end or there is no stop for you, so you're always present. Namo alayaya. So who are all the, if I come to know that who are all the jivas that who are present in this samsara, only then I can untie them, right? Only then I can get them out of it, right? So who are all the persons? If I know, then I can do it. So for that Gagendra says, Swamshena sarva tanubhin manasi pratita. Thus any external person should come and tell you that who are all the jivas in samsara, who are always present in their heart, who are always present inside. So Swamshena sarva tanubhin manasi pratita pratyagdrishe bhagavate. So you yourself know everything. You yourself knows that all the jivas are in samsara, and you are the only guy capable of making them or bringing them out of the samsara. So pratyagdrishe, you know everything. Why? Because you are Bhagavate, you are Bhagavan. Brihate, who is that Bhagavan? He is the biggest one. Brihate Namaste. So finally he says, for me, there is the only way is prostrating before you. And by doing so, you are really compassionate and you are the one who is out of the samsara. You are a mukta and there is no end for you. And you know who are all, and you know all of us are in the samsara. So please, you protect us from the samsara is the prayer done by Gagendra here. So this is the crux of entire Gagendra Stuti, where he asks Bhagavan to make him to try to make him come out of the samsara. So he says, Madrik prapanna pashupasha vimokshanaya muktaya bhuri karunaya namolayaya Swamshena sarva tanubhin manasi pratita pratyagdrishe bhagavate brihate namaste. Likewise, there are 29 shlokas, 26 shlokas present, 29 shlokas present in this Gagendra Stuti, and in end all these shlokas he is praying to Bhagavan to get him out of this samsara, and finally Bhagavan comes in Garuda Rudha. He sits on Garuda with a chakram on his hands. He shouts Adi Mulame. That's in a single word. The entire Gagendra Stuti is summarized. And Bhagavan comes and using his chakra, he cuts the crocodile and he gives his hand for Gagendra. So Gagendra throws a lotus that is present in that pond at Bhagavan's feet, shouting Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. So thereby Bhagavan gives his hand So that Gajendra through his touches Bhagavan, Bhagavan touches Gajendra, so it gives Sarupyam, and similarly that crocodile which has been cut by Bhagavan also attains its place, and Gajendra, since it has done a prarthana to attain moksham, Bhagavan takes Gajendra to moksham, and he finally gives a guarantee that who all leads this Gagendra Stuti, for them also during their ultimate time, during the last moments of his life, Bhagavan himself will remember him. Aham smarami madbhaktam nayami paramam gatim. So he says, finally they will be given my thought. My thought will arise, my thought will be given to them, and I will be remembering them. Instead of we remembering Bhagavan, the important thing is Bhagavan must be remembering us. So he says finally he will be tadami vimalam matim. So the ultimate knowledge will be bestowed by me, and that Jivatma who has chanted Gagendra Stuti will also be attaining me, is what is finalized in Gagendra Stuti. So Bhagavan finally gives a stamp that who all chants this Gagendra Stuti, as Gajendra is not as done prarthana only for him, his prayer is for all the jivas who are in samsara. So Bhagavan acknowledges it, and he gives this Palashruti stating that Tadami Vimalam Madhyam. So with that we will complete Gagendra Stuti. Gopika Jeevana Smaranam Govinda Govinda. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai.
Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. ரொம்ப பியூட்டிஃபுல் கதாஜி. அது ஒன்னு ரெண்டு ஸ்லோகமே இவ்வளோ அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்கு நான் இன்னும் அடுத்த 10 ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்லோகம் அடுத்த நீங்க சொல்ல வரீங்க. அந்த ஒரு ஸ்லோகத்துல இவ்வளோ இன்டீரியர் மீனிங், இவ்வளோ ஒவ்வொரு பிரிச்சு அதை ஒவ்வொன்றையும் இவ்வளோ இருக்குங்கிறது ஜஸ்ட் குருஜி கிரேஸா எங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் இது மாதிரி கிடைக்கிறது, இந்த மாதிரி பிரவச்சன்லாம். ஸோ ரொம்ப 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 நமஸ்காரம் உங்களுக்கு. தேங்க்யூ ஃபார் ஜாயினிங் அண்ட் டூயிங் திஸ் பிரவச்சன். ராதே ராதே.
ராதே ராதே கதாதரன்ஜி. சங்கர், ஒரு சின்ன இது ரொம்ப ஜோரா சொன்னேன், ரொம்ப இதா சொன்னேன். நாராயண அகில குரு பகவன் நமஸ்தே அப்படின்னு சொன்னது கஜேந்திரன் கூக்குரல் இட்டு சொன்னதா, இல்லாட்டா அதுவும் சமாதி ஸ்திதியில தான் சொன்னதா?
இல்ல அது சமாதியில கிடையாது, அது பகவானை நேர பார்த்த அப்புறம் தான் சொல்றேன்.
அது நல்ல உறக்க நம்மள மாதிரி நாராயணா அகில குரு அப்படின்றதுதான்.
ஆமா ஆமா, வெளில இந்த ஜென்மால சொல்றதுதான்.
யூஸ் தி மைக் ப்ளீஸ்.
இதுதான் கஜேந்திர ஸ்துதின்னு முடிஞ்சிரும். சோ இது சுக்கர் சொல்றதுனால
யூஸ் தி மைக் ப்ளீஸ்.
பகவானை நேர பார்க்க முடியாது இல்லையா?
ஆமா,
வெளியில தான் பாக்குறாரு பகவான். சமாதியில இருந்தா இப்படி பப்ளிக்கா எல்லாருக்கும் தர்ஷன் வர மாதிரி சொல்ல மாட்டார். ஏன்னா பிரம்மா எல்லாரும் பாக்குறா பகவானன்னு சொல்றாரு.
கரெக்ட்.
வருதுனால அது சமாதியில தனியா கஜேந்திரனுக்கு கிடைக்கிற தர்ஷன் கிடையாது,
பொதுவா கிடைக்கிறது. ஓகே
காட்டுற ஒரு தர்ஷனால அந்த நாராயண பகவானை பார்த்தவனே கத்த
பதம். ஆமா, ஓகே. அண்ட் லிட்டரலி இது ஸ்துதிக்கு அப்புறம் தான். திஸ் பார்ட் இஸ் நாட் இன்க்ளூடட். ஏன்னா சுகா வாச்சர் அவர் தேர்ட் பர்சன்ல தான் சொல்றாரு அவர். அண்ட் நாராயணான்றது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்கா, ரொம்ப நிர்குண ஸ்துதியா சொன்னது இங்க நாராயணான்றதுல அன்வயம் ஆயிடுறது கடைசியில. கரெக்டா?
நிர்குண ஸ்துதியா இருந்தாலும் அனுகிரகம் பண்ணணும்னா ரூபம் எடுத்துன்னு வந்தாதான்.
ரூபம் எடுத்துணும்.
இந்த மைக் கிட்ட வந்து பேசுங்க.
யூஸ் தி மைக் ப்ளீஸ்.
இல்ல சரியா மைல்டா கேக்குறது கதாதரன்ஜி, ரொம்ப கிளியரா கேட்கல.
We are in the state of parichis, so we want to know more and more from you. Kindly do it for us.
ஒண்ணுமே கேட்கல. இப்ப we can't hear anything.
I think you are muted.
இல்ல இல்ல இப்ப ஒண்ணுமே கேட்கல. முன்ன லைட்டா கேட்டது, இப்ப ஒண்ணுமே கேட்கல.
Very feeble.
கேக்குறதா?
Yes, super.
Yes, super. Okay.
We are in the mood of parichit.
அத திருப்பி ரிப்பீட் பண்ணுங்க கதாய்ஜி. அந்த இப்ப சொன்னேன் நாராயண அகில குரு பகவன் நமஸ்தே.
அதாவது அவர் என்ன கேட்டார் அப்படின்னா, நாராயணான்னு கஜேந்திரன் கத்தினது அது வந்து ஸ்துதிக்குள்ள வருமா ஸ்துதியை விட்டு வெளியிலையா அப்படின்னு கேட்டேன்னா சமாதியில இந்த ஸ்துதியை பண்றா அப்படின்னு சொல்றதுனால நாராயண நாமா சொன்னது வந்து சமாதியிலையா வெளியிலையான்னு கேட்கறது. பகவான் வந்து பிரத்யட்சமா ரூபம் எடுத்துட்டு தான் வர. பகவான் பிரத்யட்சமா ரூபம் எடுத்துட்டு வர்றதுனால அதோட மத்த தேவர்கள் எல்லாமும் அதை பாக்கறா அப்படின்னு வருது. அவருக்குன்னு இட்ஸ் நாட் அ தர்ஷன் தட் இஸ் பீன் கிவன் டு கஜேந்திரன் அலோன். அவருக்கு மட்டும்னு ஏற்படாத ஒரு தர்ஷன், அது எல்லாருக்குமே தான் கிடைக்கிறது. சோ அத வந்து அவர் வெளியில தான் பார்த்து நாராயணான்னு பகவானை பார்த்தோனே தான் he shouted.
ரைட், ஷவுட்டட், கூக்குரலிட்டு சொல்றாரு.
he shouted only after seeing பகவான் on கருடன். கருடன் மேல பகவானை பார்த்துட்டு தான் அவர் வந்து he shouting. Yes.
அதாவது இன்னொரு ரசமான விஷயம் நம்ம ராமன் நாங்க சொல்லுவாதுல, ஜஸ்ட் வாண்ட் டு ஆட், இது வந்து ரொம்ப பிரபல நிர்குண ஸ்துதி, நம்ம கஜேந்திர ஸ்துதி. அந்த நிர்குண ஸ்துதியை சொல்லி சமாதியில கஜேந்திரன் சொன்ன உடனே பகவான் வந்து கருட வாகன ரூடனாக சரூபமா வரான் இல்லையா, இந்த ஒரு பக்கம். அண்ட் கிருஷ்ணாவதாரத்துல கிருஷ்ணன் வந்து தம் அத்புதம் பாலகம் அம்புஜேக்ஷணம் சதுர்புஜம் சங்ககதாயுதாயுதம்னு சரூபமா அப்படியே ரொம்ப அற்புதமா வந்து குஞ்சு கிருஷ்ணன் குருவாயூரப்பனா வரான். அதை பார்க்கும் அப்புறம் அதை பார்த்த உடனே தேவகி மாதாவாட்டம் வசுதேவர் ஆட்டம் அவ வந்து அப்படியே பரமமான நிர்குணம் நிர்விசேஷம் அப்படின்னு ஒரு நிர்குண சுத்தி பண்றான். சோ இது ரெண்டும் பார்த்தா நிர்குணம் அண்ட் சகுணம், குருஜி கூட ஒரு மதுரை கீதத்துல they are two sides of the same coin ரொம்ப அழகா சொல்றாரு. அது இந்த இடத்துல வந்து இந்த ரெண்டு சித்தாந்தத்துல ரொம்ப நல்லா தெரியுது.
ஆமா ஆமா, பாகவதமே this is the path in which Bhagavatam shows.
Correct.
Bhagavatam will always show the sagunam and the stotram will be nirgunam. Yeah. கிருஷ்ணர் முன்னாடி இருப்பார், ஆனா நீதான அந்த பரபிரம்மம் அப்படின்னு ஸ்தோத்திரம் பண்ணுவா. இதுதான் பாகவதத்தினுடைய ஒரு ஒரு சைலி, the path பாகவதம். அந்த பேட்டர்ன்ல தான் பாகவதம் காட்டும். சோ அது அதாவது நீங்க நிர்குணமா பண்ணாலும் அது சகுனத்துல கொண்டு வந்து இங்க முடிச்சிடுறது. தசமஸ்கந்தத்துல பார்த்தோம்னா சகுனத்துல வந்து நிர்குணத்து ஸ்தோத்திரம் மட்டும் நிர்குணத்துல வந்து சகுனமா ரூபம் வருதே நிர்குணமா ஸ்தோத்திரம். சோ இத வந்து they connect between சகுனம் and நிர்குணம். நீங்க if you see entire பாகவதத்திலேயே all the stutis will be in this pattern. ஏன்னா பாகவதம் வந்து இந்த ஒரு கனெக்ட வந்து இட் ஷோஸ். அதனாலதான் ஆதிசங்கரர் வந்து பிரபோத சுதாகரம்னு பண்றது சகுண நிர்குண ஐக்கியம்னு அதுல பண்றார். So that Prabodha Sudhakaram is told as it is the saram of Bhagavatam only. It is the essence of Bhagavatam only. So இதுதான் பாகவதத்தினுடைய ஒரு ஷைலி, ஒரு path that Bhagavatam unique சகுணத்தையும் நிர்குணத்தையும் it binds, bothயும் சேர்த்துரும்.
Vyashti and Samashti Rupam of Bhagavan. Vyashti and Samashti Rupam of Bhagavan. Both are same.
என்ன
Vyashti and Samagra.
இல்ல எனக்கு சரியா கேட்கல, சாரி.
Vyashti is individual.
ஆமா ஆமா.
Samashti is total, மொத்தம்.
ஆமா ஆமா. எஸ்.
ரொம்ப
ஓகே.
Thank you Gadadaranji. ராதே ராதே.
ராதே ராதே.
ராதே.
We want to hear more and more.
கஜேந்திர ஸ்துதி ஒரு சீரியஸ் வச்சிடலாம் ஜி, நம்ம தனி பிரவச்சனம் கஜேந்திர ஸ்துதி அப்படின்னு ஒரு சீரியஸ் தனியா
பண்ணலாம். கண்டிப்பா
ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கு, ரொம்ப பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா இருக்கு. அப்படியே கேட்டுட்டே இருக்கு அதுக்கு அழகா.
Really
yes sure. ஃபியூச்சர்ல நம்ம பண்ணுவோம் ஜி, கண்டிப்பா we will do it. Yes.
All right. Thank you ஜி.
Thank you ஜி.
गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविंदा गोविंदा, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. कंटिन्यू द पारायणम. पायल जी.
ओके ना. तद्वादशोऽध्यायः. श्रीनारद उवाच ब्रह्माचारि गुरुकुले वसन्तान्तो गुरुर्हितम् आचरन् दासवन्नीचो गुरौ सुधृतसौहृदः. सायं प्रातरुपासीत गुरुवग्नि अर्कसुरोत्तमान् सन्ध्ये उभे च यतवाक् जपन् ब्रह्म समाहितः. छन्दांसि अधीत गुरोर् आहुतश्चेत् सुयन्त्रितः उपक्रमे अवसाने च चरणौ शिरसा नमेत्. मेखलाचिनवाशांसि जटादण्डकमण्डलुन् बिभ्रयादुपवीतं च दर्भपाणिर्यथोदितं. सायं प्रातश्चरेत् भैक्ष्यं गुरवे तन्निवेदयेत् भुञ्जीत यदि अनुज्ञातो नो चेदुपवसत् क्वचेत्. शुशीलोमितभुक्तक्षः श्रद्धदानो जितेन्द्रियः यावदर्थं व्यवहरेत् स्त्रीषु स्त्रीनिर्जितेषु च वर्जयेत् प्रमदाघाताम् अग्रहस्थो बृहद्व्रतः इन्द्रियाणि प्रमादीनि हरन्त्यपि यतिर्मनः प्रसादनोन्मर्द स्नपानाभ्यञ्जनादिकं गुरोर् स्त्रीभिर्युवतिभिः कारयेनात्मनो युवा नन्वग्नि प्रमदानाम गृहीतः कुम्भसमः पुमान् सुतामपि रहो जह्यादन्यथा यावदर्थकृत् कल्पयित्वात्मना यावद् आभासम् इदमीश्वरः द्वैतं तावन्न विरमेत् ततो हि अस्य विपर्ययः एतत् सर्वं गृहस्थस्य समाम्नातं यतेरपि गुरुवृत्तिर्विकल्पेन गृहस्थस्यर्तुगामिनः अञ्जनाभ्यञ्जनोन्मर्द स्त्री अवलेकामिषं मधु श्रग्गन्धलेपालङ्कारां त्यजेयुर्ये बृहद्व्रताः उषित्वैवं गुरुकुले द्विजोदीत्यावबुद्ध्य च त्रयीं साङ्गोपनिषदं यावदर्थं यथा बलं तत्त्वावरम् अनुज्ञातो गुरो कामं यदीश्वरः गृहं वनं वा प्रविशेत् प्रव्रजेत् तत्र वा वसेत् अग्नौ गुरावात्मनि च सर्वभूतेष्वदोक्षजं भूतैः स्वधामभिः पश्येद् अप्रविष्टं प्रविष्टवत् एवं विदो ब्रह्मचारी वानप्रस्थो यतिर्गृही चरन् विदित विज्ञानः परं ब्रह्मादिगच्छति वानप्रस्थस्य वक्ष्यामि नियमान् मुनिसम्मतान् यानास्ताय मुनिर्गच्छेत् ऋषिलोकं मोहाञ्जसा न कृष्टपच्यं नश्नीयाद् अकृष्टं चाप्यकालतः अग्निपक्वं मतामं वा अर्कपक्वं मुताहरेत् वन्यैः चरुपुरोदाशान् निर्वपेत् कालचोदितान् लब्धे नवे अनाध्ये पुराणं च परित्यजेत् अग्न्यर्थमेव शरणम् उटजं वाद्रिकन्धरं श्रयेत हिमवाय्वग्नि वर्षार्कातपशाट् स्वयं केशरोमनकश्मश्रु मलानि जटिलोधडत् कमण्डलु अजिने दण्ड वल्गलाग्नि परिच्छदान् चरेध्वने द्वादशाब्दान् अष्टौ वा चतुरो मुनिः द्वावेकं वा यथा बुद्धिर्न विपद्येत कृच्छ्रतः यदा कल्पः स्वक्रियायां व्याधिभिर्जरया तवा आन्वीक्ष्यां वा विद्यायां कुर्यादनशनादिकम् आत्मनि अग्निं समारोप्य सन्न्यस्याहं ममात्मतां कारणे शून्यसेत् सम्यक् सङ्गातं तु यथार्हतः केकानि वायौ निःश्वासां तेजःशुष्मानमात्मवान् अप्सु अश्रक् श्लेष्मपूयानि क्षतौ शेषं यतोद्भवम् वाचमग्नौ स वक्तव्याम् इन्द्रियशिल्पं करावपि पदानि गत्या वयसि रत्योपस्थं प्रजापतौ नृत्योपायुं विसर्गं च यथास्थानं विनिर्दिशेत् दिक्षु श्रोतं सनादेन स्पर्शेनाध्यात्मनि त्वचम् रूपाणि चक्षुषा राजन् ज्योतिषभिनिवेशयत् अप्सु प्रचेतसा जिह्वां ग्रेयैः घ्राणं क्षितौ न्यसेत् मनोरथैश्चन्द्रे बुद्धिं बोध्यैः कवौ परे कर्माणि अध्यात्मना रुद्रे यत्तहं ममता क्रिया सत्त्वेन चित्तं क्षेत्रज्ञे गुणैः वैकारिकं परे अप्सुक्षितिम् अपो ज्योतिषीम् अदो वायौ नभस्य मुं कूटस्थे तच्च महति तद्व्यक्ते अक्षरे च तत् इति अक्षरतयात्मानं चिन्मात्रम् अवशेषितं ज्ञात्वा द्वयो अत विरमे दग्धयो निर्निवानलः इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां सप्तमस्कन्धे द्वादशोऽध्यायः श्रीहरये नमः श्रीहरये नमः श्रीहरये नमः गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्दा गोविन्दा सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः श्रीनारद उवाच कल्पस्त्वेवं परिव्रज्य देहमात्रावशेषितः ग्रामैकरात्रविधिना निरपेक्षश्चरेन्महीं विप्रयात्यधि असौ वासः कौपीनाचादनं परं त्यक्तं न लिङ्गादण्डादेरन्यत् किञ्चित् धनापदीम् एक एव चरेद्भिक्षुरात्मा रामो नपाश्रयः सर्वभूतसुहृच्चान्तो नारायण परायणः पश्येदात्मनि अधो विश्वं परे सत् असतो अव्यये आत्मानं च परं ब्रह्म सर्वत्र सद्सन्मये सुप्ति प्रबोधयो सन्धा आत्मनो गतिमात्मदृक् पश्यन् बन्धं च मोक्षं च मायामात्रं न वस्तुतः नाभिनन्दे ध्रुवं मृत्युम् अध्रुवं वास जीवितं कालं परं प्रतीक्षेत भूतानां प्रभवाप्ययम् नाशच्छात्रेषु सज्जेत नोपजीवेत जीविकां वादवादां त्यजेत् तर्कान् पक्षं कञ्चन संश्रयेत न शिष्याननुबध्नीत ग्रन्थानैवाभ्यसेत् बहून् न व्याख्यामुपयुञ्जीत नारम्भानारभेत् क्वचित् नयतेराश्रमः प्रायो धर्महेतुर्महात्मनः शान्तस्य समचित्तस्य विप्रयातु तवात्यजेत् अव्यक्तलिङ्गो व्यक्तार्थो मनीषी उन्मत्तबालवत् कविर्मुखवद् आत्मानं सदृष्ट्या दर्शयेन्द्रणाम् अत्रापि उदाहरन्तीमम् इतिहासं पुरातनं प्रह्लादस्य च संवादं मुनेराजगरस्य च संशयानं धरोपस्थे कावेर्यां सह्यसानुनि रजस्वलैः तनुद्देशैः निगूढामलतेजसं तदर्श लोकान् विचरन् लोकतत्त्वविवित्सया वृतो आमात्यैः कतिपयैः प्रह्लादो भगवत्प्रियः कर्मणा कृतिभिर्वाचा लिङ्गै वर्णाश्रमादिभिः न विदन्ति जनाह्यं वै सोऽसाविति न वेति च तं नत्वाभ्यर्च्य विधिवत् पादयो शिरसा स्पृशन् विवित्सुहृदमप्राक्षीन् महाभागवतोऽसुरः पिबर्षिकायं पीवानं सोऽध्यमो भोगवान् यथा वित्तं चैवोद्यमवतां भोगो वित्तवतामिह भोगीनां खलु देहोऽयं पीव भवति नान्यताम् न देशयानस्य निरुद्यमस्य ब्रह्मण्नुहार्तो यत एव भोगः अभोगिनो अयं तव विप्रदेहः पीवायतस्तद्वहनः क्षमं चेत् कविकल्पो निपुन्नदृक् चित्रप्रियकतः समः लोकस्य कुर्वतः कर्म शेषे तद्वीक्षितापि वा श्रीनारद उवाच सहितं दैत्यपतिना परिपृष्टो महामुनिः स्मयमानस्तमप्याह तद्वागमृतयन्त्रितः श्रीब्राह्मण उवाच वेदेदम् असुरश्रेष्ठ भवानान् वार्यसम्मतः इहो परमयो नृणां पदान्यत्यात्मचक्षुषा यस्य नारायणो देवो भगवान् हृत्कतः सदा भक्त्या केवलया ज्ञानं दुनोति द्वान्तमर्कवत् तथापि ब्रूमहे प्रश्नांस्तव राजन्यता श्रुतं सम्भाषणीयो हि भवान् आत्मनः स्तुतिम् इच्छता राधे राधे
லக்ஷ்மி பிரபாகச்சி இருக்கீங்களா?
ராதே ராதே நான் இருக்கேன். ஐ எம் சாரி நான் பார்க்கல.
சாரி 13th ஸ்லோகா 13th சாப்டர்
24th श्लोकाல இருந்தக்கா
24 गोपिका जीवन स्मरणं गोविंद गोविंद सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय यदृच्छया लोकमिमं प्रापितः अदने
இல்லக்கா கிருஷ்ணயா भववाहिन्या 24th श्लोका 13th chapter
कृष्णया भववाहिन्या योग्यैः कामैरपूरया कर्मणि कार्यमाणोऽहं नानायेनिषु योजितः यदृच्छया लोकमिमं प्रापितः कर्मभिर्भ्रमन् स्वर्गापवर्गयोर्द्वारं तिरश्चां पुनरस्य च अत्रापि दम्पतीनां च सुखाय अन्यापनुत्तये कर्माणि कुर्वतां दृष्ट्वा निवृत्तोऽस्मि विपर्ययम् सुखम् अस्यात्मनो रूपं सर्वेहो परतिस्तनुः मनः संस्पर्शजान् दृष्ट्वा भोगान् स्वप्स्यामि संविशन् इत्येतद् आत्मनः स्वार्थं सन्तं विस्मृत्य वै पुमान् विचित्राम् असति द्वैते घोराम् आप्नोति संसृतिं जलं तत् उद्भवैश्चन्नं हित्वाग्न्यो जलकाम्यया मृगतृष्णाम् उपाधावेत् यथान्यत्र अर्थदृक्स्वतः देहादिभिर्दैव तन्त्रैः आत्मनः सुखमीहतः दुःखात्ययं च अनिशस्य क्रियामोघाः कृताः आध्यात्मिकादिभिर्दुःखैः अविमुक्तस्य कर्हिचित् मर्त्यस्य कृच्छ्रोपनतैः अर्थैः कामैः क्रियेत किम् पश्यामि धनिनां क्लेशं लुब्धानाम् अजितात्मनां भयादलब्धनिद्राणां सर्वतोभिविशङ्किनां राजतश्चोरतशत्रोः स्वजनात् पशुपक्षितः अर्थिभ्यः कालतः स्वस्मात् नित्यं प्राणार्थवद्भयं शोकमोहभयक्रोधरागक्लैब्य श्रमादयः यन्मूलाः स्युर्नृणां जह्यात् स्पृहां प्राणार्थयोर्बुधः मधुकारमहासर्पौ लोकेऽस्मिन्नो गुरुत्तमौ वैराग्यं परितोषं च प्राप्ता यत् शिक्षया वयं विरागः सर्वकामेभ्यः शिक्षितो मे मधुव्रतात् कृच्छ्राप्तं मधुवद्वित्तं हत्वाप्यन्यो हरेत्पतिम् अनीहः परितुष्टात्मा यदृच्छोपनतादहं नो चेच्छये बह्वहानि महाहीरिव सत्त्ववान् क्वचित् अल्पं क्वचित् भूरि भुञ्जेनं स्वादुवा क्वचित् भूरि गुणोपेतं गुणहीनम् उत क्वचित् श्रद्धयोपाहृतं क्वापि कदाचिन् मानवर्जितं भुञ्जे भुक्त्वाथ कस्मिंश्चित् दिवानक्तं यदृच्छया क्षौमं दुकूलम् अजीनं क्षीरं वल्कलमेव वा वसिन् यदपि सम्प्राप्तं दिष्टभुक्तुष्टधीरहं क्वचिच्छये धरोपस्थे तृणपर्णाश्म भस्मसु क्वचित् प्रासादपर्यङ्के कशिपौ वा परेच्छया क्वचित् स्नातोऽनुलिप्ताङ्गः सुवासाः स्रग्वि अलङ्कृतः रते भाश्वैः चरे क्वापि दिग्वासाग्रहवद्विभो नाहं निन्दे न च स्तौमि स्वभावविषमं जन एतेषां श्रेय आशासे उतैकात्म्यं महात्मनि विकल्पं जुहुयाचित्तौ तां मनस्यर्थविभ्रमे मनोवैकारिके हुत्वा तं माययां जुहोत्यनु आत्मानुभूतौ तां मायां जुहुयात् सत्यदृङ्मुनिः ततो निरीहो विरमेत् स्वानुभूत्यात्मनि स्थितः स्वात्मवृत्तं मयेत्थं ते सुगुप्तम् अपि वर्णितं व्यपेतं लोकशास्त्राभ्यां भवानी भगवत्परिः नारद उवाच धर्मं पारमहंस्यं वै मुनेः श्रुत्वा सुरेश्वरः पूजयित्वा ततः प्रीत आमन्त्र्य प्रययौ गृहम् इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां सप्तमस्कन्धे युधिष्ठिरनारदसंवादे यतिधर्मे त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः। श्रीहरे नमः। गोपिका जीवन स्मरणं गोविंद गोविंद। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। राधे राधे। सॉरी।
राधे राधे। अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः। युधिष्ठिरोवाच गृहस्थेतां पदवीं विधिना येन चाञ्जसा याति देवर्षे ब्रूहि मादृशो गृहमूढधीः। नारद उवाच गृहेष्वस्थितो राजन् क्रियाः कुर्वन् गृहचेत् गृहोचिताः वासुदेवार्पणं साक्षात् उपासीत महामुनीन् शृण्वन् भगवतो अभीक्ष्णम् अवतारकथामृतं श्रद्दधानो यथा कालम् उपाशान्तजनावृतः सत्संगात् शनकैः संगमात्मजायात्मजादिषु विमुच्येन्मुच्यमानेषु स्वयं स्वप्नवदुत्थितः यावदर्थमुपासीनो देहे गेहे च पंडितः विरक्तो रक्तवत् तत्र निर्लोके नरतां न्यसेत् ज्ञातयः पितरौ पुत्रा भ्रातरः सुहृदो परे यद्वदन्ति यदिच्छन्ति चानुमोदेत निर्ममः दिव्यं भौमं चान्तरिक्षं वित्तम् अच्युत निर्मितं तत्सर्वम् उपभुञ्जान् एतत् कुर्यात् स्वतो बुधः यावत् प्रियेत जठरं तावत् स्वत्वं हि देहिनाम् अधिकं यो अभिमन्येत सस्तेनो दण्डमर्हति मृगोष्ट्रखर मर्का मर्का मर्कार्कुसुरी सरीसृप खगमक्षिकाः आत्मनः पुत्रवत् पश्येत् एषे मान्तरं कियत् त्रिवर्गं नातिकृच्छ्रेण भजेत गृहमेध्यपि यथा देशं यथा कालं यावत् देवोपदादितम् आश्वागान्ते अवसायिभ्यः कामान् विभज्येद्यथा अप्येकमात्मनो दारां नृणां स्वत्वगृहे यतः जह्याद यदर्थे स्वप्नान् हन्याद्वा पितरं गुरुं तस्यां स्वत्वं स्त्रियां जह्याद यस्तेन हि अजितोजितः कृमिविड् भस्मनिष्ठान्तं क्वेदं तुच्छं कलेवरं क्व तदीय रतिर्भार्या क्वायमात्मा नवश्यतिः सिद्धैरज्ञावशिष्टार्थैः कल्पयेद् वृत्तिमात्मनः शेषे स्वत्वं त्यजनप्राज्ञः पदवीं महतां यात् देवान् ऋषीन् नृभूतानि पितॄन् आत्मानमन्वहं स्ववृत्त्या गतिवित्तेन यजेत पुरुषं पृथक् यर्ह्यात्मनो अधिकाराद्यः सर्वाः स्युः यज्ञसम्पदः वैतानिकेन विधिना अग्निहोत्रादिना यजेत् न हि अग्निमुखोऽतोऽयं वै भगवान् सर्वयज्ञमुख युज्येद हविषाराधन् यथा विप्रमुखे हुतैः तस्माद् ब्राह्मणदेवेषु मर्त्यादिषु यदार्हतः तैस्तैः कामैर्यजस्वैनं क्षेत्रज्ञं ब्रह्मणा ननु कुर्यादापरपक्षीयां मासी प्रौष्टपदे द्विजः श्राद्धं पित्रो यथा वित्तं तद्बन्धूनां च वित्तवान् अयने विषुवे कुर्यात् व्यतीपाते दिनक्षये चन्द्रादित्योपरागे च द्वादशी श्रवणेषु च तृतीयायां शुक्लपक्षे नवम्याम् अथ कार्तिके चतस्रष्वपि अष्टकासु हेमन्ते शिशिरे तथा राधे राधे
राधे राधे मागे च सिद्धसम्पत्न्यां मखाराकासमागमे राखया चानुमध्या वा मासर्क्षाणि युतान्यपि द्वादश्याम् अनुराधास्यां श्रवणस्तिस्र उत्तराः तिसृषु एकादशी वासु जन्मर्क्ष श्रोणयोखयुक तयेते श्रेयसकाला नृणां श्रेयो विवर्धना कुर्यात् सर्वात्मनैतेषु श्रेयो मोक्षं ददायुष येषु स्नानं जपो होमः व्रतं देवद्विजार्चनं पितृदेवनृभूतेभ्य यद्दत्तं दत्ति अनश्वरं संस्कारकालो जायाय अभत्यस्य आत्मनस्तथा प्रेतसंस्था मृताश्च कर्मण्ययुथये नृपः अथ तेषान् प्रवक्ष्यामि धर्मादिश्रेय आवहान् स वै पुण्यतमो देशः सत्पात्रं यत्र लभ्यते बिम्बं भगवतो यत्र सर्वमेतच्चराचरं यत्र ब्राह्मणकुलं तपो विद्यादयान्वितं यत्र यत्र हरेर्चास देशः श्रेयसां पदं यत्र गङ्गादयो नद्यः पुराणेषु च विश्रुताः सरांसि पुष्करादीनि क्षेत्राणि अर्हाश्रितान्युत कुरुक्षेत्रं गयशिरः प्रयाग पुलहाश्रम नैमिषं बाल्गुणं सेतु प्रभासोद कुशस्थली वाराणसी मधुपुरी पंबा भिन्तु सरस्तथा नारायणश्रमोऽनन्ता सीतारामाश्रमातय सर्वे कुलाचला राजन् महेन्द्रमलयातय एते पुण्यधमा देशा अर्चाश्रिदाश्चये एतान् देशान् निषेवेत श्रेयस्कामो ह्यभीक्ष्णश धर्मो हि अत्रेहितः पुंसान् सहस्रादिबलोतय पात्रं त्वत्र निरुक्तं वै कविभिः पात्रवित्तमैः हरिरेवैक उर्वीश यन्मयं वै चराचरं देवर्षि अर्हत्सु वै सत्सु तत्र ब्रह्मात्मजादिषु राजन्यत् अग्रभुजायां मदपात्रदयाच्युत जीवराशिभिराकीर्ण अण्डकोशाङ्कृभो महान् तन्मूलत्वात् अच्युदेश्या सर्वजीवात्मतर्पणं पुराण्यनेन सृष्टानि नृतिर्यक् ऋषिदेवताः शेते जीवेन रूपेण पुरेषु पुरुषो ह्यसौ तेष्वेषु भगवान् राजन् तारतम्येन वर्तते तस्मात् पात्रं हि पुरुषः यावनात्मा यते यते दृष्ट्वा तेषां मिदो नृणाम् अवज्ञात आत्मतान् नृपतिरो त्रेधादिषु हरेर्च क्रियै कविविकृता तदोर्चायं हरिं केशत् संश्रद्धाय सपर्यया उपासत उपास्तापीनार्थदा पुरुषद्विषां पुरुषेषु अभिराजेन्द्र सुपात्रं ब्राह्मणं वितुः तपसा विद्यया तुष्ट्या तदेवेतं स हरेस्तनुं नन्वस्य ब्राह्मणाराजन् कृष्णस्य जगतात्मनः पुनन्तः पादरजसा त्रिलोकीं दैवतं महत् इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमंस्यां संहितायां सप्तमस्कन्धे चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः। श्री हरे नमः श्री हरे नमः श्री हरे नमः। गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविंद गोविंद। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। राधे राधे
राधे राधे। अथ पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः। नारदो उवाच कर्मनिष्ठा द्विजाः केचित् तपोनिष्ठा नृपापरे स्वाध्याये अन्ये प्रवचने ये केचित् ज्ञानयोगयोः ज्ञाननिष्ठा यदेयानि कव्यान्यान्यनन्त्यमिच्छथा देवे च तदभावे स्याद् अतिरेभ्यो यथार्हतः द्वौ दैवे पितृकार्ये त्रीनेकैकमुभयत्र वा भोजयेत् समृद्धोऽपि श्राद्धे कुर्यान्न विस्तरं देशकालोचितश्रद्धा द्रव्यपात्रार्हणानि च सम्यक् भवन्ति नैतानि विस्तरात् स्वजनार्पणात् देशे काले च सम्प्राप्ते मुन्यन्नं हरिदैवतं श्रद्धया विधिवत् पात्रेण स्तं कामदुघाक्षयं देवर्षिपितृविभूतेभ्यः आत्मनो स्वजनाय च अन्नं संविभज्यन् अपश्येत् सर्वं तत् पुरुषात्मकं न दध्यादामिषं श्राद्धे न चाध्यात् धर्मतत्त्ववित् पुण्यन्ये हि स्यात् परा प्रीतिः यथा न पशुहिंसया नैतादृशः परो धर्मो नृणां सद्धर्ममिच्छतां न्यासो दण्डस्य भूतेषु मनोवाक्कायजस्य च एके कर्ममयान्यज्ञान् ज्ञानिनो यज्ञवित्तमाः आत्मसंयमने नीहा जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते द्रव्ययज्ञैः यक्ष्यमाणां दृष्ट्वा भूतानि बिभ्यति एष करुणो हन्याद् अतज्ञो हि असुध्रुवं तस्माद् दैवोपपन्नेन मुन्यन्नेनापि धर्मविद् सन्तुष्टो अहरहः कुर्यान् नित्यनैमित्तिकीः क्रियाः विधर्माः परधर्माश्च आवास उपमाचलः अधर्मशाखाः पञ्चेमा धर्मज्ञो अधर्मवत् त्यजेत् धर्मवादो विधर्मः स्यात् परधर्मोऽन्योचोदितः उपधर्मस्तु पाखण्डो दम्भो वा शब्दविच्छलः यस्मिच्छया कृतः पुंभिः आभासो हि आश्रमात् पृथक् स्वभावविहितो धर्मः कस्य नेष्टः प्रशान्तये धर्मार्थमपि नेहेते यात्रार्थं वादनो धनम् हानिहानीहमानस्य महाहेरेव वृत्तिदा सन्तुष्टस्य निरीहस्य स्वात्मा रामस्येत् सुखं कुतस्तत् कामलोभेन धावतो अर्थहेयादिशाः सदा असन्तुष्टमनसः सर्वाः सुखमयादिशः शर्करा कण्टकादिभ्यो यतोपानत्पदः शिवं सन्तुष्टः केन वा राजन् न वर्तेतापि वारिणाम् यजहव्यकार्पण्याद् गृहपालयते जनाः असन्तुष्टस्य विप्रस्य तेजो विद्या तपोयशः स्रवन्ति लौल्येन ज्ञानं चैवावकीर्यते कामस्यान्तं न क्षुत्रभ्यां क्रोधस्यैतत् फलोदयात् जनो याति न लोभस्य चित्वा भुक्त्वा दिशो भुवः पण्डित्वा बहवो राजन् बहुज्ञः संशयच्छिदः सदसस्पतयो अप्येके असन्तोषात् पतन्त्यदः संकल्पात् जयेत् कामं क्रोधं कामविवर्जनात् अर्थानर्थेक्षया लोभं भयं तत्त्वावमर्शनात् आन्वीक्षिक्या शोकमोहौ दम्भं महत्पासया योगान्तरायान् मौनेन हिंसां कायाद्यनीहया कृपया भूतजं दुःखं दैवं जह्यात् समाधिना आत्मजं योगवीर्येण निद्रां सत्त्वनिषेवया रजस्तमश्चत्वेन सत्त्वं चोपशमेन च एतत् सर्वं गुरौ भक्त्या पुरुषो हि अञ्जसा जयेत् यस्य साक्षात् भगवती ज्ञानदीपप्रदे गुरौ मत्स्याद्सद्धि श्रुतं तस्य सर्वं कुञ्जरशौचवत् एष वै भगवान् साक्षात् प्रधानपुरुषेश्वरः योगेश्वरैर्विमृग्याङ्घ्रि लोकोऽयं मन्यते नरं षड्वर्ग संयमैकान्ताः सर्वा नियमचोदनाः तदन्ता यदि नो योगान् आवहेयुः श्रमावहाः यथा वार्तादयो ह्यर्था योगस्यार्थं न बिभ्रति अनर्थाय भवेस्युते पूर्तमिष्टं तथा सदः यश्चित्तविजये यत्तः स्यात् निस्सङ्गो अपरिग्रहः एको विवृत्तशरणो भिक्षुमिदाशनः देशे शुचौ समे राजन् संस्थाप्यासनमात्मनः स्थिरं समं सुखं तस्मिन् आसीत् तर्जङ्गवोमिति प्राणापानौ सन्निरुध्यात् पूरकुम्भकरेचकैः यावन्मनस्त्यजेत् कामान् स्वनसाग्रीनिरीक्षणः यतो निस्तरति हि मनः कामहतं भ्रमत् ततस्तदौपाहृत्य हृदि रुन्द्याच्छनैर्बहुधः एवम् अभ्यस्ततश्चित्तं कालेनाल्पीयसायतेः अनिशं तस्य निर्वाणं यात्यनिन्दन् अवन्निवत् कामादिभिरनाविद्धं प्रशन्ता किल वृत्तियत् चित्तं ब्रह्मसुखस्पृष्टं नैवोतिष्ठेत कर्हिचित् यः प्रव्रज्य गृहात् पूर्वं त्रिवर्गापणात् पुनः यदि सेवेत तन्भिक्षुः स वै वान्तास्य पत्रवः यैः स्वदेहः स्मृतो नात्मा मर्त्यो विट् कृमिभस्मात् स येनमात्मा सत्कृत्वा श्लाघयन्ति हि असत्तमाः गृहस्थस्य क्रियात्योगो व्रतत्यागो वटोरपि तपस्विनो ग्रामसेवा भिक्षोः इन्द्रियलोलता आश्रमापसदा ह्येते कल्वाश्रमविडम्बकाः देवमाया मूढांस्तान् उपेक्ष्येतानुकम्पया आत्मानं चेत् विजानीयात् परं ज्ञानदुताशयः किम् इच्छन् कस्य वा हेतोः देहं पुष्णाति लम्पटः राधे राधे
राधे राधे आहुः शरीरं रतमिन्द्रियाणि हयानभीषोन्मन इन्द्रियेशं वर्त्मानि मात्रादिशनां च सूतं सत्त्वं बृहद्बन्धुरमीससृष्टम् अक्षं दश प्राणमधर्मधर्मो चक्रेऽभिमानं रथिनं च जीवं दुह्नोर्हि तस्य प्रणवं प्रतन्ति शरं तु जीवं परमेव लक्ष्यं रागो देवश्च लोभश्च शोकमोहौ भयं मदः मानो अवमानो असूया च माया हिंसा च मत्सरः राजप्रमादशुन्निद्रा शत्रवस्त्वेव माधयः रजस्तमप्रकृतयः सत्त्वप्रकृतयः क्वचित् यावन्नृकाय रतमात्मवशोपकल्पं दत्ते गरिष्ठचरणाचरया निशातं जिज्ञानासिन् अच्युत बलो धततस्तशत्रुः स्वराज्यतुष्ट उपशान्त इदं विचह्यात् नो चेत् परमत्तम् असत् इन्द्रियवाजिसूता नीत्वोत्पतं विषयदस्युषु निक्षिपन्ति ते दस्यवः सहयसूतममुं तमोदे संसारकूप उरुमृत्युभये क्षिपन्ति प्रवृत्तं च निवृत्तं च द्विविधं कर्म वैदिकम् आवर्तेत प्रवृत्तेन निवृत्तेन श्रुते अमृतम् हिंसरं द्रव्यमयं काम्यम् अग्निहोत्राति अशान्तिदं दर्शश्च पूर्णमासश्च चतुर्मास्यं पशुसुतः एतदिष्टं प्रभृत्याख्यं हुतं प्रहुतमेव च पूर्तं सुरालया राम उपजीव्यादिलक्षणं द्रव्यसूक्ष्मविपाकश्च दमो रात्रिपपक्षयः अयनं दक्षिणं सोमो दर्श ओषधिवीरुडः अन्नं रेत इति क्ष्मेष पृथुयानं पुनर्भवः एकैष्येनानुपूर्वं भूत्वा भूत्वेह जायते निशे कदाचित् मशानान्तैः संस्कारैः संस्कृतद्विजः इन्द्रियेषु क्रिया परायण्या ज्ञानदीपेषु जुह्वति इन्द्रियाणि मनस्योर्मो वाचि वैकारिकं मनः वाचं वर्णसमानाये तोमकारे स्वरे न्यसीत् ओंकारो बिन्दौ नादे तं तु प्राणे महत्यमुम् अग्निसूर्यो दिवा प्रह्नः शुक्लो राकोत्तरं स्वराट् विश्वश्च तैजस प्राज्ञ त्रुय आत्मा समं व्ययात् देवयानमिदं प्राहुः भूत्वा भूत्वानुपूर्वशः आत्मया जुह्य शान्तात्मा ह्यत्यंस्तो न निवर्तते य एते पितृदेवानाम् अयने वेद निर्मिते शस्त्रेण चक्षुषा वेद जनस्तोऽपि न मुह्यति अधावन्ते जनानां सद्बहिरन्तपरावरम् ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं वचो वाचं तमो ज्योतिस्त्वयं स्वयम् अबाधितोऽपि ह्याभासो यथा वस्तुतया स्मृतः दुर्गतत्वात् ऐन्द्रियकम् तावदर्थविकल्पितं शित्याधीनमिहार्तानं छाया न कथमापिः न सङ्घातो विकारोऽपि न पृटन्नान्वितो मृषा धातवो अव्यवित्वाच्च तन्मात्रा वयवेर्विना न्यास्युः ह्यसत्यवयविनि असन् अव्यनो अन्ततः सादृश्य भ्रमस्तावत् विकल्पे सति वस्तुनः जाग्रत् स्वापौ यथा स्वप्ने तथा विधि निषेधथा भावादिवैतं क्रियाद्वैत्यं द्रव्याद्वैतं तथा आत्मनः वर्तयन् स्वानुभूत्येह त्रीन् स्वप्नान् धुनुते मुनिः कार्यकारणवत्स्वैक्यमर्शनं पठथन्थुवत् अवस्तुद्वात् विकल्पस्य भावाद्वैतं तदुच्यते यद् ब्रह्मणि परे साक्षात् सर्वकाम कर्म समर्पणं मनोवाक्तनुभिप्रार्थ क्रियाद्वैतं तदुच्यते आत्मजाया सुतादीनामन्येषां सर्वदेहिनां यत्स्वार्थकामयोरैक्यं द्राव्यद्वैतं तदुच्यते यद्यस्य वाणि सिद्धं स्यात् येन यत्र यतो नृप सतेन हेतकर्माणि नरो नार्यैरनापदे एतैरन्यश्च वेदोक्तैः वर्तमाना स्वकर्मभिः गृहे अप्यस्य गतिं यायात् राजंस्तद्भक्तिभाण्डरः यथा हि यूयं नृपदेव दुष्यजात् आपद्गुणात् उत्तरतात्मनः प्रभोः यत्पादपङ्केरुहसेवया भवान् आहार्षि निर्जितदिग्गज क्रतून् अहं पुरा भवं कश्चित् गन्धर्व उपबर्हणः नाम्ना ते महाकल्पे गन्धर्वाणां सुसम्मतः रूपपेशलमाधुर्य सौगन्ध्य प्रियदर्शनः स्त्रीणां प्रियतमो नित्यं मत्तस्तु पुरुलम्पटः एकदा देवसत्रे तु गन्धर्वाप्सरसां गणाः उपाहूत विश्वसृग्भिः हरिगातोपगायने अहं च गायंस्तद्विद्वान् स्त्रीभिः परिवृतो गतः ज्ञात्वा विश्वसृजस्तन्मे हेळनं च पुरोजसा याहि त्वं शूद्रतमाशु नष्टश्रीकृतहेळनः तावद्दास्यमहं जङ्गे तत्रापि ब्रह्मवादिनां शुश्रूषयानुसङ्गेन प्राप्तोऽहं ब्रह्मपुत्रतां धर्मस्ते गृहमेदीयो वर्णितः पापनाशनः गृहस्थो येन पत्तवीम् अञ्जसान्यासिनामियात् यूयं नृकोले बत भूरिभागा लोकं पुनाना मुनयोऽपि यन्ति येषां गृणान् आवसतेति साक्षात् गूढं परं ब्रह्म मनुष्यलिङ्गं सो वा अयं ब्रह्म महोत् विमृग्यं कैवल्य निर्वाण सुखानुभूतिः प्रियसृहृद्वा खलु मातुलीय आत्मार्हणीयो विधिकृद्गृहश्च न यस्य साक्षात् भवपद्मजादिभिः रूपं तिया वस्तुतयोपवर्णितं मौनेन भक्त्योपशमेन पूजितः प्रसीदतां येष स सात्वतां पतिः श्रीशुकौवाच इति देवर्षिणा प्रोक्तं निशम्य भरतर्षभः पूजयामास सुप्रीतः कृष्णं च प्रेम विह्वलः कृष्णपार्था उपामन्त्र्य पूजितः प्राययो मुनिः श्रुत्वा कृष्णं परं ब्रह्म पार्थः परमविस्मितः इति दाक्षायिनीनां ते प्रत्यग्वंशा प्रकीर्तिताः देवासुरमनुष्याद्य लोकायत्र चराचराः इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे वैयासक्याम् अष्टादशसहस्रास्यां पारमहंस्यां संहितायां सप्तमस्कन्धे युधिष्ठिर नारद संवादे सदाचार निर्णयो नाम पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः इति सप्तमस्कन्ध समाप्तः। श्रीहरये नमः, श्रीहरये नमः, श्रीहरये नमः। गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्दा गोविन्द। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। श्री गुरुवायूरप्पा शरणम्। अथ अष्टमस्कन्धः प्रथमोऽध्यायः। श्रीराज उवाच स्वायम्भुवस्येह गुरो वंशो अयं विस्तराश्रुतः यत्र विश्वसृजां सर्गो मनोन् अन्यान् वदस्व नः। श्रीहरये नमः, श्रीहरये नमः, श्रीहरये नमः। गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्दा गोविन्द। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। श्री गुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं। राधे राधे।
राधे राधे। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सद्गुरुनाम संकीर्तनम गोविंदा गोविंदा। Beautiful chanting and pravachan today. Awesome. Radhe Radhe. So we'll do Madhura Geetam and then Aarti. Shweta Shankar ji ninge irkela?
Radhe Radhe irkene.
Radhe Radhe.
गोपिका जीवन स्मरणं गोविंदा गोविंदा। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। குருநாதன் வாழி குருநாதன் வாழி குருநாதன் வாழியவே கிளியே குருநாதன் வாழியவே கிளியே குருநாதன் வாழியவே பாகவத முதுட்டி பவபயம் போக்கிடும் பாகவத முதுட்டி பவபயம் போக்கிடும் பரமதயால நடி குருநாதர் பரமதயால நடி கிளியே பரமதயாள நடி ஹரிநாம கீர்த்தனமே சரியான வழியன்று ஹரிநாம கீர்த்தனமே சரியான வழியன்று பரிவுடன் உரைப்பாரடி குருநாதர் பரிவுடன் உரைப்பாரடி கிளியே பரிவுடன் உரைப்பாரடி கண்ணனின் சேவையில் தன்னையே மறந்திடுவார் கண்ணனின் சேவையில் தன்னையே மறந்திடுவார் தன்னிகரில்லாதவர் குருநாதர் தன்னிகரில்லாதவர் கிளியே தன்னிகரில்லாதவர் சாதுக்கள் சங்கத்தை எங்கும் நிலவ செய்து சாதுக்கள் சங்கத்தை எங்கும் நிலவ செய்து சன்மார்க்கம் தழைக்க வந்தார் குருநாதர் சன்மார்க்கம் தழைக்க வந்தார் கிளியே சன்மார்க்கம் தழைக்க வந்தார் பண்டரிநாதனின் பரமபக்தரிவர் பண்டரிநாதனின் பரமபக்தரிவர் முரளிதரனுடன் பணிவாய் கிளியே முரளிதரனுடன் பணிவாய் கிளியே முரளிதரனுடன் பணிவாய் குருநாதன் வாழி குருநாதன் வாழி குருநாதன் வாழியவே கிளியே குருநாதன் வாழியவே கிளியே குருநாதன் வாழியவே. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय.
Beautiful song, Shwetaji. Next, யார் பாடுறேன்?
நான் குருஜி மேல சுகன்யாஜி பாடுறியாமா?
நீங்க பாடுங்க மகாலட்சுமி.
ராதே ராதே.
ராதே ராதேம்மா. நான் குருஜி மேல ஒரு பாட்டு பாடுறேன் ஜெயஜி. தெளிவு குருவின் திருமேனி காண்டல், தெளிவு குருவின் திருநாமம் செப்பல், தெளிவு குருவின் திருவார்த்தை கேட்டல், தெளிவு குருவின் திருவுரு சிந்தித்தல் தானே. நீ இன்றி நான் இல்லை குருநாதா, நீ இன்றி நான் இல்லை குருநாதா, ஒரு கணமும் உனை மறவேன் குருநாதா, ஒரு கணமும் உனை மறவேன் குருநாதா, நீ இன்றி நான் இல்லை குருநாதா. உயிர் கொடுத்தாய், பெயர் கொடுத்தாய், உயிர் கொடுத்தாய், பெயர் கொடுத்தாய், வாழ்க்கையை கொடுத்தாய், உயிர் கொடுத்தாய், பெயர் கொடுத்தாய், வாழ்க்கையை கொடுத்தாய், பிறவி பயனையும் அன்புடன் உணர்த்தி விட்டாய், பிறவி பயனையும் அன்புடன் உணர்த்தி விட்டாய், நீ இன்றி நான் இல்லை குருநாதா. பாகவத தர்மத்தில் ருச்சி தந்தாய், பாகவத தர்மத்தில் ருச்சி தந்தாய், பரமனை ஆடி பாடி அலைய விட்டு, பரமனை ஆடி பாடி அலைய விட்டு, பாகவத தர்மத்தில் ருச்சி தந்தாய், அன்புடனே அரவணைத்து விளையாட்டாகவே, அன்புடனே அரவணைத்து விளையாட்டாகவே, ஆனந்த சாகரத்தில் விளையாட விட்டாய், ஆனந்த சாகரத்தில் விளையாட விட்டாய், ஆனந்த சாகரத்தில் விளையாட விட்டாய், நீ இன்றி நான் இல்லை குருநாதா, ஒரு கணமும் உனை மறவேன் குருநாதா, நீ இன்றி நான் இல்லை குருநாதா, 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 குருநாதா. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. राधे राधे जय जी. थैंक यू.
ராதே ராதே மகாலட்சுமி ஜி. நான் ரொம்ப நாளா சொல்றேன், லாஸ்ட் ஃபியூ மந்த்ஸாவே உங்கள்ட்ட அந்த குருநாதருடைய சாங் கீர்த்தன்ஸ் எல்லாம் நீங்க பாடுறது ரொம்ப உருக்கமா இருக்கு. அது ஒன்றும் எனக்கு சொல்ல தெரியல எப்படி என்னன்னு. I don't know, something has happened உங்களுக்கு last 3 months.
அதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணும் இல்ல ஜெயஜி, உங்களாலதான். உங்களால
இல்ல
மட்டும்தான்
அதுதான் இல்ல
நான் சொல்லணும். இன்னும் எனக்கு இதெல்லாம் தெரியவே தெரியாது. உங்களால தான் இதை வாயே திறக்கிறேன் இப்பெல்லாம். சுகன்யாஜி கேட்டு பாருங்க, நாமதாரில வாயே திறக்க மாட்டேன் நான். நாம மட்டும்தான் சொல்லுவேன், அவ்வளவுதான். தேங்க்யூ சோ மச் ஜெயஜி.
நீங்க பாட ஆரம்பிக்கணும் அப்போ. ராதே ராதே.
பியூட்டிஃபுல். சுகன்யாஜி நெக்ஸ்ட்.
ராதே ராதே. गोपिका जीवन स्मरणं गोविंदा गोविंदा सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. உள்ளே பார் ஞான தங்கமே, உள்ளே பார்க்க முடியாவிட்டால் வெளியே கண்ணனை பார் பார் பார். பேசாதிரு ஞான தங்கமே, பேசாதிருக்க முடியாவிட்டால் கண்ணனை பற்றிய பேசியிரு. உண்ணாதிரு ஞான தங்கமே, உண்ணாதிருக்க முடியாவிட்டால் கண்ணன் அமுது செய்ததை ஒன்றியரு. கேளாதிரு ஞான தங்கமே, கேளாதிருக்க முடியாவிட்டா கண்ணனின் கேளிகளை கேட்டிரு. அலையாதிரு ஞான தங்கமே, அலைவதற்காசை இருக்குமானால் கண்ணன் ஆலயம் செல்வாயே. வழியிதுவே ஞான தங்கமே, விழிப்புடன் வாழ்வான் மலர்ந்து நீயும் முக்தியை தழுவி கொள்வாயே. உள்ளே பார் ஞான தங்கமே, உள்ளே பார்க்க முடியாவிட்டால் வெளியே கண்ணனை பார் பார் பார். கோபிகா ஜீவன ஸ்மரணம் கோவிந்தா கோவிந்தா சத்குருநாத் மகாராஜ் கி ஜெய். ராதே ராதே.
ராதே ராதே. பியூட்டிஃபுல் கீர்த்தன். ராதே ராதே.
பூ அலங்காரம் ரொம்ப அழகா இருக்கு ஜெயஜி. ஓ மை காட், இன்னைக்கு கிருஷ்ணர் ரொம்பவே அலங்காரமா ஜிலு ஜிலுன்னு இருக்காரு, நகையெல்லாம் போட்டு.
தேங்க்யூ. நெக்ஸ்ட் யார் பாடல்? சங்கர்ஜி நீங்க?
ராதே ராதே ஜெயஜி. நான் இதுல கார்ல இருக்கேன் நானு.
ஓகே.
ராதே ராதே.
நீங்க பாடு.
सद्गुरु महाराज की जय. गजेंद्र वरदो विजयते, गरुड गमनो विजयते, गजेंद्र गमनो गजेंद्र वरदो विजयते, गरुड गमनो विजयते, पत्र पुष्प फल तोषादितोषितः, छत्र चामर वेद गीतादि पूजितः, पत्र पुष्प फल तोयादितोषितः, छत्र चामर वेद गीतादि पूजितः, गजेंद्र वरदो विजयते, प्रसिद्ध पुष्कर तीर्थ निवासः, प्रपन्न रक्षण दृढव्रतः, प्रसिद्ध पुष्कर तीर्थ निवासः, प्रपन्न रक्षण दृढव्रतः गजेन्द्रवरदो विजयते गरुडगमनो विजयते प्रकटितवैभव त्रिजगन्मूल भृत्यमुरलीधर सदा सेवितः प्रकटितवैभव त्रिजगन्मूल भृत्यमुरलीधर सदा सेवितः भृत्यमुरलीधर सदा सेवितः गजेन्द्रवरदो विजयते गरुडगमनो विजयते। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। राधे राधे।
Beautiful, sir. Very nice. Radhe Radhe. உமாஜி நீங்க பாருல வெளில இருக்கல நீங்க நீங்க அவுட் சைட் லிசனிங் போட்டுண்டா. ஓகே.
ஜெயஜி ஒரு நரசிம்ம பகவானுக்கு ஒரு கீர்த்தன் பாட்டுமா?
எஸ் எஸ் எஸ். ஆமா அவர் வெயிட் பண்ணி இருக்கார். இல்ல மறந்துட்டே நினைக்கிறேன். என்ன மறந்துட்டே.
श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय। गोपिका जीवन स्मरणम गोविंदा गोविंदा। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सिंहम तोन्றினான் नरसिंहम तोन्றினான் விண்ணும் மண்ணும் மதுரபடி சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் நரசிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் விண்ணும் மண்ணும் மதுரபடி சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் நரசிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் பிள்ளை சொல் கேட்டு துள்ளி எழுந்தவன் தூணை பிளக்கவே அங்கு தோன்றினான் பிள்ளை சொல் கேட்டு துள்ளி எழுந்தவன் தூணை பிளக்கவே அங்கு தோன்றினான் சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் நரசிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் விண்ணும் மண்ணும் அதிரும்படி சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் நரசிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் பக்தவத்சலன் அங்கு தோன்றினான் சத்யசந்தன் அங்கு தோன்றினான் முக்தி தருபவள் அங்கு தோன்றினான் அந்தி நேரத்தில் அங்கு தோன்றினான் சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் நரசிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் விண்ணும் மண்ணும் அதிரும்படி சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் நரசிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் காலகாலன் அங்கு தோன்றினான் கோலாகலன் அங்கு தோன்றினான் மாலோலன் அங்கு தோன்றினான் பாலபாலகன் அங்கு தோன்றினான் சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் நரசிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் விண்ணும் மண்ணும் அதிரும்படி சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் நரசிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் மண்ணை கேட்டவள் அங்கு தோன்றினான் விண்ணை அளந்தவள் அங்கு தோன்றினான் நான் ஏற்றியவள் அங்கு தோன்றினான் வெண்ணை உண்ட முரளிதரன் அங்கு தோன்றினான் சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் நரசிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் விண்ணும் மண்ணும் அதிரும்படி சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் சிம்ஹம் தோன்றினான் नरसिंह तोन्றினான்। श्री प्रहलाद प्रिय श्री नरसिम्हा भगवान की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। राधे राधे
ராதே ராதே. நான் ஒரு
ராதே ராதே. டைம் இருக்கா? ஆக்சுவலி ஒரு கீர்த்தன் அப்புறம்
நான் ஒரே பாட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் நெக்ஸ்ட் நீங்க.
ஓ ராதே ராதே.
பார்த்திலையோ கோவிந்தா நீ என்னை, பார்த்திலையோ கோவிந்தா நீ என்னை, என் குறை கேட்டிலையோ, பார்த்திலையோ கோவிந்தா நீ என்னை, என் குறை கேட்டிலையோ, பார்த்தும் கேட்டுமானி என்னை தடுத்தாட்கொள்ளாமல், பார்த்தும் கேட்டுமானி என்னை தடுத்தாட்கொள்ளாமல், என் போக்கில் விடுவது சரிதானோ கண்ணா, பார்த்தும் கேட்டுமானி என்னை தடுத்தாட்கொள்ளாமல், என் போக்கில் விடுவது சரிதானோ கண்ணா, பார்த்திலையோ கோவிந்தா, வராகமாய் வந்தன் பூமியை தூக்கி நின்றாய், வராகமாய் வந்தன்று பூமியை தூக்கி நின்றாய், வாமனனாய் வந்து, வாமனனாய் வந்து வளர்ந்து பூமியை அலர்ந்தாய், ராமனாய் வந்தன்று பூமியை ஆண்டாய், ராமனாய் வந்தன்று பூமியை ஆண்டாய், கண்ணனாய் வந்தன்று பூபாரம் குறைத்தாய், கண்ணனாய் வந்தன்று பூபாரம் குறைத்தாய், பார்த்திலையோ கோவிந்தா நீ என்னை, என் குறை கேட்டிலையோ, பார்த்திலையோ கோவிந்தா. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय.
பியூட்டிஃபுல் கீர்த்தன் ஜெயஜி. ராதே ராதே.
ரொம்ப அழகான கீர்த்தன்.
ஜெயஜி
ஜெயஜி, நான் நரசிம்மன் பகவான் மேல ஒரு சின்னதா ஒண்ணு பண்ணவா?
உமாஜி பண்றேன்.
சரி சரி சரி. எஸ் 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 எஸ்.
அதுக்கப்புறம் மகாராஜ்
நான் இல்லை. ஓகே. गंभीर सिंह क्राव चैत्रावात जय सिंह, दैत्यांत विद्युद्घात वीक्षारूक्ष नरसिंह, विस्तृत विस्फुट कर्कश चालित दीर्घहस्त, विश्वहिता शक्तियुता शंखधरा चक्रधरा, ज्वालाते नरसिंह शूलानकरण सिंह, शश्वस्थांकि संस्थापनार्थक लोकध्वांत विध्वंसकारक मृत्युंजय विजय नारसिंह. जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ की जय.
थैंक यू. மகாலட்சுமி நீங்க பாருங்க. महालक्ष्मी जी. ओके, श्वेता शंकर जी நீங்க பாடுறீங்களா?
राधे राधे. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. முக்தி என்றால் என்ன? ராதே ராதே. கிருஷ்ண பக்தியே முக்தியாகும் லலிதே லலிதே. கிருஷ்ண பக்தி எதனால் வளரும்? ராதே ராதே. கீர்த்தனம் செய்வதால் வளரும் லலிதே லலிதே. கீர்த்தனம் எதனால் வளரும்? ராதே ராதே. சத்சங்கத்தினால் வளரும் லலிதே லலிதே. சத்சங்கம் எதனால் கிடைக்கும்? ராதே ராதே. குரு கிருபையினால் மட்டும் லலிதே லலிதே. குரு கிருபை எதனால் கிட்டும் ராதே ராதே பதிலறிந்தும் நீ கேட்பதேனோ லலிதே லலிதே உன் கிருபை இருந்தால் கிருஷ்ணன் சுலபனாம் ராதே ராதே என் கிருபையும் குரு கிருபையும் ஒன்றே லலிதே லலிதே பிரேம ரகசியத்தை சொன்னாய் ராதே ராதே பிரேம ரகசியத்தை சொன்னாய் ராதே ராதே முரளியை இசைத்தவன் சொல்வதும் இதுவே லலிதே லலிதே முக்தி என்றால் என்ன ராதே ராதே கிருஷ்ண பக்தியே முக்தியாகும் லலிதே லலிதே सदगुरु महाराज की जय राधे राधे
சாரி
Thank
ஜெயஜி
you,
எனக்கு அன்மியூட்
Sudhakaji. Beautiful Kirtan. Radhe
Beautiful.
Radhe. Radhe
Very
Radhe.
good.
அஸ்வதி அந்த ஸ்டார்டிங் சர்ச் வேர்ட் அனுப்புங்களேன். ஆப்ல பாத்துக்கிறோம். நீங்க எனக்கு அந்த அனுப்புங்க. ஸ்கிரிப்ட் எனக்கு கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியல. நீங்க பாருங்க.
ஒரு நிமிஷம் இதே श्री नरसिंहो आविर्भवति श्री नरसिंहो आविर्भवति सकल वाक्य परिपालनाय श्री नरसिंहो आविर्भवति अर्जुनाय दत्तवाक् परिपालनाय अर्जुनाय दत्तवाक् परिपालनाय जय विजयेभ्यो दत्त वाक् परिपालनाय जय विजयेभ्यो दत्त वाक् परिपालनाय श्री नरसिंहो आविर्भवति विधिना दत्त वाक् परिपालनाय विधिना दत्त वाक् परिपालनाय सुरगण दत्त वाक् परिपालनाय सुरगण दत्त वाक् परिपालनाय श्री नरसिंहो आविर्भवति करलद खयातु सूत वाक् परिपालनाय करलद खयातु सूत वाक् परिपालनाय मुरलीधर भक्तजन वाक् परिपालनाय मुरलीधर भक्तजन वाक् परिपालनाय श्री नरसिंहो आविर्भवति गोपिका जीवन स्मरण गोविंदा गोविंदा सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय राधे राधे थैंक यू सो मच
राधे राधे आरती कामिச்சிடலாமா
ஜெயஜி ஒரே ஒரு நாமாவளி பாடட்டுமா? குட்டி நாமாவளி.
ஓகே.
गोपिका जीवन स्मरणम गोविंदा गोविंदा सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय रमा रमण हरि रमा रमण हरि रमा रमण हरि गोविंदा रमा रमण हरि रमा रमण हरि रमा रमण हरि गोविंदा गिरिजा सोधर गिरिधर गोपाल नर हरि रूप गोविंदा रमा रमण हरि रमा रमण हरि रमा रमण हरि गोविंदा अनंत शयन अनंत नाम आनंद स्वरूप गोविंदा रमारमण हरि रमारमण हरि रमारमण हरि गोविन्दा पद्मावल्लभ पद्मचरण सुधामा सेवित गोविन्दा रमारमण हरि रमारमण हरि रमारमण हरि गोविन्दा गरुडवाहन श्रुतिनायका मारुति सेवित गोविन्दा रमारमण हरि रमारमण हरि रमारमण हरि गोविन्दा रमारमण हरि रमारमण हरि रमारमण हरि गोविन्दा रमारमण हरि रमारमण हरि रमारमण हरि गोविन्दा रमारमण हरि गोविन्दा रमारमण हरि गोविन्दा सर्वत्र गोविन्द नाम संकीर्तनम गोविन्दा गोविन्दा। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। राधे राधे
ராதே ராதே.
அது
ஆர்த்தி யார் பாடு?
பண்பாடுல இருக்கு ரஜேஜி. அந்த இது இப்பதான் பார்த்தேன் நான், முக்தி.
ஆமாமா, அது நான் வந்துருச்சு. எனக்கு அந்த சர்ச் வேர்ட் போட்டா வந்துடுறது. ஆமா ஆமா. தேங்க்யூ.
லக்ஷ்மிஜி பாடுறா ஆர்த்தி பாட்டு? லக்ஷ்மி சிவாஜி
இருக்காளா? லிசனிங் போட்டிருக்கா. சோ நீங்க பாடலாம்.
நான் பாடுறேன்.
இந்த பாட்டா ஜெய பாகவதவா?
ஜெய் நீங்க பாடுறீங்களா பாகவத?
பாட்டுமா நானு?
பாடுங்க.
ஜெய ஜெய பாகவத தேவா ஜெய ஜெய பாகவத जय जय राधा कृष्ण स्वरूपा जय जय भागवत देवा जय जय भागवत पटुतर मरुभूमौ चरतां पति 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 पततां प्रतिपदललितं त्वां तत्त्वा परमसुखं कुतः देवा जय जय भागवत परमपदे भगवान् भक्त परिपालन गुणवान् कमल भवाय कृपया त्वां निज कमल मुखेन ददौ देवा जय जय भागवत आलोड्याखिल शास्त्रं भगवान् अणवाप्य मनःशान्तिम् आस्वाद्यातुलरसं ते शाश्वतमानन्दमाप परम् देवा जय जय भागवत. அடுத்து என்ன ஸ்டான்ஸ் வரும் சுவாமி?
நிகமா கரதோ
நிகமாது இல்ல, நடுவுல உன்னை விட்டு நினைக்கிறேன்.
ஆஸ்வாத்யாத்துல ரசம்
नवनवरसभरितं दिव्यं नारायणमुखगणितं नलिनासनदेव प्रददौ नारदमुनये त्वां देवा जय जय भागवत निगमान्ततरोर्गलितं मधुरं निरवध्यपदलसितं निर्गुणनिष्ठोऽपि श्रीशुको नित्यं पिबति त्वां देवा जय जय भागवत कलिमलहरणं त्वां श्रुत्वा कैवल्यसुखप्रदं कृष्णप्रेमनिमग्नो राजा कृष्णप्रेमनिमग्नो राजा कृष्णपदाम्बुजमाप देवा जय जय भागवत जय जय भागवत देवा जय जय भागवत जय जय राधा कृष्ण स्वरूपा जय जय भागवत देवा जय जय भागवत भागवत भगवान की जय।
வியாசருக்கு மங்களம் சுகர்க்கு மங்களம் சூதருக்கு மங்களம் விதுரருக்கு மங்களம் உத்தவர்க்கு மங்களம் மைத்ரேயர்க்கு மங்களம் பரிஷத்துக்கு மங்களம் பாகவதத்துக்கு மங்களம் ஜெய மங்களம் நித்ய சுபமங்களம் जय मंगलम नित्य शुभ मंगलम जय मंगलम नित्य शुभ मंगलम ഭാഗവത ഭഗവാൻ കി ജയ്. ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ ശരണം. സദ്ഗുരുനാഥ മഹാരാജ് കി ജയ്.
जय कायेन
രാധേ
वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैव बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणाय समर्पयामि. सर्वं कृष्णार्पणं गुरुवे शरणं. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. थैंक यू.
രാധേ
Thank you,
രാധേ
Ramanaji. Radhe Radhe. എല്ലാവർക്കും
Thank you so much.
നമസ്കാരം.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe
Namaskaram,
Radhe
Radhe
എല്ലാവർക്കും. Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe. Radhe Radhe. கிருஷ்ணர் அழகா அழகுனா அழகு.
Thank you.